right, welcome into the latest edition of the Second Half Draft Show. I'm your host, Juice, joined by Headley and Drew. We have a three-round 2025 NFL mock draft on tap for this evening's show. Shout out to them KJs. And one above all, I believe one above all is an Eagles fan trying to get that dub this weekend. Looking forward to doing another mock draft. This is post-Shrine Game, post-Senior Bowl, Mississippi Prasky in the building. All of those of you who are tuning in, we appreciate you. We have new information, right? We got new information. We talked about it last week when we did our recap of the Senior Bowl over the course of the last several days, taking a look at the Shrine Bowl footage from the practices as well as the game. So a lot of new information here to actually put into synthesis, right? We're going to synthesize it and we're going to turn it into a three-round mock draft. Get a sense of what people are thinking, what they have seen over the course of the last couple of weeks, as well as we get to finalizing the 2024-2025 NFL season and ultimately getting fully into draft season, right? The Combine is next up on the docket. So let's jump into it. I won't belabor the point any further. Byron, what's going on, man? Appreciate you. I'm gonna start us off. I'm gonna start us off with the first overall pick, Tennessee Titans. Let me share screen. Drew, you got that back up, right?
I do.
The contingency plan. You know what I mean? You know, I got the Radio Shack connection over here, so it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. At the top, the Tennessee Titans, and I know Titans fans are perhaps split. Maybe the pendulum is swinging a little bit more towards Cam Ward as people get more information about him. We talked about it. We talked about it going into the season that I thought Cam Ward was going to put on a show, right? Playing behind the best offensive line that he played behind his entire collegiate career. And that he did. One of the best offenses in the NFL. And I think what kind of gets lost in translation is his leadership ability, his ability to actually recognize what the defense is doing to him. He's a gunslinger. There's no question about it. You got to iron some of that out. But for my money, he's the top quarterback in the class, and he'll be the first overall selection in this three-round 2025 NFL mock draft. That puts you on the clock here, Headley. What do you do in the two-hole here for Cleveland?
I'm gonna be different. You know, last time I was here, I went Shedeur Sanders, number 2 to Cleveland after Cam Ward. And with all this new recent trade speculations around Myles Garrett, I'm just gonna add Abdul Carter here at the top at number 2. I think him and Travis Hunter are the 2 best players in this class. And I think they need that pass rusher. Even if they keep a Myles Garrett, man, if you have Abdul Carter on the other side of him, that's a ferocious defensive line right there. So I'm gonna go number 2, the edge rusher from Penn State.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, a lot of chatter about Myles Garrett asking for a trade. Hopefully, they get a king's ransom if they move on from him. I've heard Denzel Ward has basically said, if we move off of Myles Garrett, I'm gonna be right behind him. Just imagine having a Myles Garrett, Abdul Carter duo at the edge. Cleveland's defense really took a step back this year. Obviously, still, large question marks at the quarterback position, but the defense was supposed to be the one thing that you could count on with this Cleveland's team, and they really struggled last year. So adding Abdul Carter certainly helps. Drew, what do you do third overall with the Giants?
I mean, I wish D-Kit was here because I would sabotage, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do the right thing. We're going to get them their quarterback so they can be on an upward trajectory, because that division right now, division is serious, bro. And it's, well, maybe I believe everybody's serious but the Cowboys. So let me go ahead and get Shedeur Sanders. We're going to have to shore some things up on the offensive line, but this is a start here. It's a big city. The biggest market, at least on the East Coast. And I think he'll fit right in. Dad'll love it. He'll love it. Let's go make some money. Shedeur Sanders.
I'm with it. It's time to turn the page, get a new single caller in there, reset the clock as far as salaries are concerned. Makes a ton of sense. I mean, there'll be question marks, right, as far as Shedeur, does he have the arm strength to consistently get through that weather up there in the Northeast? But we like it for the Giants. We like it for the Giants, all things considered. Really, really, in our minds, 2 quarterbacks that would go here in the first round. So Ward and Sanders off the board in the first 3 selections. I've made this pick before, this Patriots 4th overall selection, and I'm not really going to kind of move off of it. I'm going to stick with Travis Hunter. I think he's one of the special prospects, one of the few special prospects in this class, what he can do, obviously, on both sides of the ball. I'm going to play him at corner opposite Gonzalez, right? It's a money position in a passing league, but I think what he can add to the offense, particularly in the red zone, will go a long way in terms of helping Drake May and add some firepower, some pizzazz to this team. They have, issues along the defensive line, and edge rusher, pass rushing, offensive line concerns. There's some names that you could consider here, but I can't pass up the talent of a Travis Hunter here. So Travis Hunter to New England, that puts you back on the clock. Headley with Jacksonville representing Rod's Duval. Hey, you heard of Liam Cohen? What is it? Cohen? Liam Cohen, his Duval. You heard it? You heard his chat?
Oh, yeah. I heard it.
Yeah. He got to work.
That's Drew's guy. That is
Drew's guy.
Nah, chill. Don't do that. Don't do that. Jacksonville get what they deserve, bro.
All right, man. I'm up next. Jacksonville Jaguars, and this last time you had this pick, I think you had it, Drew, where you picked Mason Graham. Was it Mason Graham you picked for this? Nah, you picked up for the Giants, right?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, early, yeah. So, but I'm gonna go Mason Graham here. I'm gonna go Mason Graham on this defensive line. The back end. If Travis Hunter was there, I'll grab him. Will Johnson. That's another option there because the secondary is a big need. But I'm gonna get the front right man to help the back end, and later on get some corners because there's a deep cornerback class.
All right, not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I know Daniel C weighed in. He's thinking Will for the Jaguars.
I was thinking him also. But it's some inconsistency on tape for him. I know he has the potential. They just lost Cam Robinson on their former left tackle, so I was thinking about him also. But I passed on him. I went with a more short thing, in my opinion, than Mason Graham on the defensive line.
Left tackle? That's the corner, bro. What are you talking about?
Oh, Will? Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Will Campbell.
Well, I guess we don't know. I guess we don't know. It could be Will Johnson or Will Campbell. So I stepped on your shot. It could be either one of those players. And there's a need. In that instance for both. But certainly understand the selection of Mason Graham as well. Shout out Steve. What up, Steve? Appreciate you. Give Raiders the T-Mac. Steve saying give Raiders the T-Mac. Drew, you going to do it, or are you going to go in a different direction?
No, I'm gonna give him T-Mac, man. This is a big wide receiver who got small feet, who can play in the slot, play outside, kind of play all the wide receiver positions. He can make people miss an open space, which you don't usually get with a guy that's as big as he is. And he's got a little bit of that wingspan you want at the receiver position. So let's go get us a T-Mac, and I don't mean Tracy McGrady.
All right. He does not mean Tracy McGrady. I'm going to go off the beaten path here. I think there's been a lot of disrespect for this player, and perhaps folks may think it's too soon. Don't do it too soon. Reconsider. But I just think he let's be fair. Let's be fair with respect to the Jets. The Jets had issues on the offensive side of the ball, obviously, as well as the defensive side of the ball. They've poured a lot of resources into the defense, and some of it has worked out, some of it not so much. And this past season, they took a step back. That was supposed to be the strength of the team. We thought, obviously, they'd be better offensively with a healthy Aaron Rodgers. They make the trade for Devontae Adams. It didn't necessarily coalesce. Jets fans may be upset. They may be upset about this. I'm not going to Tyler Warren route. I'm not going that direction. I'm gonna go with Malachi Starks, bro. I think Malachi Starks is like a top 5-ish, 6 player in this class in my mind. I know there's kind of a wide thought that the consensus certainly doesn't suggest that, but for me, he's among the very best in this class. One of the handful of players I have a first round grade on, not just being selected in the first round, but a legitimate first round grade on. I want good football players, so I'm gonna go with Malachi Starks here to shore up the back end in New York. And I think he has the ability to make everybody else better. Everybody in front of him would be better because of Malachi Starks. So give me Starks to the Jets.
All right.
Hold on. Before you go. Okay. I gotta. Last time, we did the 4-man weave, and I went Tyler Warren, and everybody was kind of side-eyeing me, kind of liked it,
I've been
but you're
seeing
kind
it
of
a
like,
lot.
I don't know about it.
Yeah.
And then
They all
what
over
happened?
it now. They all
Then what
over it
happened?
now.
See, they be listening to the pod, bro. They some ninjas, bro. They up
They
in
be
the
ear hustling. They be ear
bro.
hustling. Yeah.
They got the lights off, bro. They in the corner of the ceiling, bro, and they just watching, bro, like a ninja, bro, just waiting, bro. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Just make sure y'all hit the like button and share the video, man. That's all we ask. That's it, man.
You know
We're
what,
not
Dylan?
selfish out here.
You know what, Dylan? In the grand scheme of things, you're right. You're right. The likelihood of finding or safety being selected at this point in the draft is slim to none, just because of the way the NFL devalues the position. However, when you look across the league and you think about the upper echelon safeties and what they mean to corresponding defenses, whether it be Kyle Hamilton, Brian Branch, those are just a couple names that come to mind immediately. They are indispensable to their respective teams. Their teams look completely different when those guys aren't on the field or playing a particular role within the defense. So I'm setting the position, kind of bias or the valuation aside here. And while it is very early, it is absolutely early. Ideally, New York, if they feel strongly about Starks, you trade down, you add draft capital, but we're not doing that in this particular mock draft. That's the reason why I'm going with Starks, because again, I see it play out every Sunday, how upper echelon safety play, not just league average play, but upper echelon safety play can really transform a team's defense. Carolina, Headley.
Yeah, man, you gave me some time to think about this, man. I had a guy initially, and I'm going to do an audible. I'm going to call an audible here for the Carolina Panthers. I was going to get a left tackle for them, clean that up, add to Bryce Young, but I think I could get a quality left tackle. What's the next? Oh, it's 57. Oh, man. Yeah, that changes things. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. Then I'm gonna go get the tackle, man. I'm gonna go get the tackle at the top, at the 8th pick right here for the Carolina Panthers, and I'm gonna go with Josh Simmons from Ohio State. And yeah, I'm on it, man. To me, he had the cleanest tape out of all the tackles I watched this season. I know he got hurt prematurely before he played those big games, but the movement ability, he just looks like what a starting left tackle should look like at the next level. And we need to protect Bryce Young. We saw what Bryce Young did when he came back in the game, and he's looking really good, man. So if we can protect him and give him some time to throw the ball, I think the Panthers offense will be on a fast track.
Yeah, I'm with you, Headley. I think if Simmons is healthy, there really would be no debate. But I think the consensus is starting to warm up to the idea of him being potentially the first or among the first couple of tackles off the board, even though there's kind of a grouping, across the board. Guys really like Connerly, of course. Will Campbell has manned that top tackle position for a lot of the pre-draft process. You got folks who are still bullish on Kelvin Banks. Armand Membo is obviously, he's crashed the party. You know what I'm saying? But a healthy Josh Simmons is probably, not far and away, but certainly the top tackle in this class. So I like it. You want to continue to protect Bryce Young up front. Drew, you got the Saints on the clock here. Are you gonna do Byron a solid here and grab them Will Campbell, keep him home, keep him in the state of Louisiana?
That would be the right thing to do. It would be the easy thing to do. I was also thinking about cornerback for these guys. I was thinking about Jalen Walker for these guys.
Ooh, Jalen Walker.
Yeah,
that's a good name.
That's the one where I'm like, I might have to,
Bro, that's who I was gonna pick before I saw it, man. That was my pick. But I was like, let me get him the left tackle. I did the right thing for the Panthers, man. But I was looking at Jalen Walker as well.
You did the right thing if you're going to go offense. I mean, this has been a historically bad defense for the Panthers. So, you wouldn't get any pushback for going on the defensive side of the ball. But if you're going to go offense, then Simmons makes a lot of sense, I think.
Daniel, see, I see what you're saying. I wouldn't go Mike Green if I was to go edge here. I don't know. When I look at Jalen Walker, I just kind of think of he's kind of the middle linebacker, outside edge. I think he can do a little bit of everything. But I think I'm gonna stay responsible. I'm gonna stay meat and potatoes, and we're gonna do Will Campbell out there at left tackle. He's Haley's no longer number one offensive tackle. Sounds like based on him picking Josh Simmons. Is Will Campbell next? Is he next, bro? Or
I like Will Campbell. Yeah, I'll put him there.
Okay. All right. We'll lock it up.
Kevin Banks right there too. They
Yeah,
both
that's
right
what I'm
there.
saying.
They've been neck and neck coming in, man.
Yeah. All right, Will Campbell, lock it in for the Saints. We got to protect our quarterback. We got to make sure that Spencer Rattler, he's got the arm talent. We want to be able to protect him. We say here at Couch Potato GM all the time, man. You got to protect your quarterback and you got to give him weapons. So we're gonna start with the offensive line and work our way out.
Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense here. New Orleans has a lot of work to do, as I'm sure Byron is aware. They got to build it from the inside out. I think if you're doing it responsibly, you're building it from the inside out. You're trying to weather this whole Derek Carr contract situation so you can move on from that, build the rest of the roster in the meantime. So Will Campbell to New Orleans. I'm going to stay along the offensive line. Mr. Prasky, previously it would have been Banks. Previously it would have been Banks for 3 offensive tackles in a row, but I'm going to go with a name that is shot up the boards, man. And I was disappointed that we didn't get a chance to see him in Mobile. Apparently he caught a stomach bug. Still wanted to participate, but obviously that puts other players at risk, the viral nature of things. So we didn't get to see him in Mobile, but I love the tape, man. I love the tape. I love the movement ability. This guy's a true dancing bear. His ability to climb. Everything's under control, right? Technically, he's very sound. I think Kelvin Banks, while I am probably maybe the highest on this panel, perhaps on Kelvin Banks, I think you mitigate a little risk here with Armand Membo. So I'm gonna go with Membo out of Missouri to shore up this offensive line in Chicago.
Yeah, looking like we got a little run on tackles going on right now, huh?
Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest. I'll be very honest about it. As far as Membo, I think Membo might be even a better fit for this team that you're going to be drafting for here, Hadley in San Francisco, in terms of their outside zone, right? I think he fits that to a T, but I'm giving him a slight edge over Banks currently.
Yeah, I agree. Membo fits this 49ers offensive line really well. That's probably one of their targets coming into this draft. But man, my guys dropped a little bit. You see where your boy Jeremiah had him number 6, right? So I think Jalen Walker, the Georgia pass rusher, I think this 49ers defense wasn't the same with that Dre Greenlaw injury. I know he's coming back from injury, but I look at Jalen Walker as a do-it-all player, pass rusher first, linebacker second. But wherever you need him, man, he's Legos. He's the Legos of this class, along with Abdul Carter. And I think there might be a video coming, man. The Abdul Carter versus Jalen Walker video. So give me Jalen Walker here to the 49ers.
All right. This was a Headley special. This was an early one. The consensus had to catch up. Headley was on Jalen Walker well before anybody in national media, as far as I'm concerned. So Jalen Walker is certainly deserving of a top 15 pick in this particular class. All right, Drew. You're on the clock.
We call that stamp. It's a stamped player. For anybody that doesn't know, it's a stamped player. It's a guy that you saying, hey, this is my guy. Now we can't go out here grabbing 5-star guys. So knock it off. Okay. When you go to stamp your guy, got to be 4-star or lower. I think we were discussing though, guys coming from JUCO and stuff. We haven't kind of worked that part out, but don't take the low hanging fruit when it comes to stamp players. All right. Okay. I'm doing a lot here, bro. You know what I'm doing. Dallas. I mean, should I just take the low-hanging fruit and just go get Ashton Genty and we figure out the rest later? Because that seems to be the consensus when we talk about Dallas. They need a running back. This guy is, after watching Bucky Irvin this past year, I'm a Bucs fan, as y'all know. Breaking tackles is an art, bro. You know what I'm saying? And being able to make people miss is an art as well. I think Genty has the ability to do both, more of breaking tackles and obviously making people miss. But when he has great vision. He has patience. Offensive linemen are going to love him because he's not a guy trying to cram it up in the hole. When he can wait it out, if he has to, he'll lower the shoulder, and take on some contact, probably break a tackle or two. That elusive ability. I guess if you run over to PFF, you see the elusive ability is bar none. So we're gonna get us an Ashton Genty. I know there was concerns about him fumbling the football. I think he did it 5 times this year, so there is that concern. But he's too dynamic to not do the right thing and get him here. And we know Jerry. I got to find the Jerry song, but we got to play it every time the Cowboys come up, bro. I think that's what we got to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? The Fire Jerry song, bro. It's never happening. You know what I mean? But Ashton Genty, running back for Boise State for the Dallas Cowboys.
The audience, Hetley, was insistent. They insisted on a tackle to the Niners because I think there's always been some concerns about the right tackle position, and Trent Williams is getting longer in the tooth at the left tackle and dealt with some injuries here. So you went in a different direction. You went and got Jalen Walker. I assume you'll address that tackle position later, but I just want to make note of that because I agree. I agree. That is an area that San Francisco needs to address. Perhaps if one of those three in terms of Simmons, Campbell, or Membo on the board, you go in that direction. But with those three guys going off in succession, Haley went in a different direction. Genty to Dallas makes perfect sense. I don't think I have to add any more context to that. Got Miami on the clock here, and my initial thought is to go with Will Johnson. I see Will Johnson sliding a bit here, but I actually want to address the down line. I want to get more physical on this Miami team. They tend to get beat up at times. They have excellent skill on the perimeter. They have some talented edge rushers, although they've dealt with some fairly significant injuries. So an edge rusher wouldn't be out of the question here, but I'm actually going to go to the interior defensive line and a guy who's just incredibly disruptive, first step quickness from the interior. Actually, he can line up and play some 4-eye for you as well. Let's go with Walter Nolan out of Mississippi to Miami.
Nice, good pick.
Give me a nice 3 technique.
Senior Bowl winner right there, top 15 itis.
Yes,
that's what we call it, right? The top 15 itis.
Yes. He definitely helped himself in Mobile. Indy on the clock, Hadley, and you got a decision to make. Is it Will Johnson or Tyler Warren? Right? That's it right there, isn't it?
Yep. You read it, man. See, the thing about Will Johnson is, and I'm a big Will Johnson guy, man. We're on freshman year. I tried to claim him as my guy. You said he's a 5-star. You know that previous conversation you said, Drew, we can't claim the 5-star guys. So I'm a big Will Johnson guy, but he's an excellent zone corner. It's the man stuff that I think teams are going to be worried about. I think he could do it, but at the same time, I think Benjamin Morrison is a better man corner than Will Johnson. I think Travis Hunter is a better man corner than Will Johnson. So I'm gonna go with the tight end. And this was a DP special right here. He was on the show. He's saying that the Colts need the tight end badly, and Tyler Warren is not just a tight end that can catch the football. He can help in the run game, get Jonathan Taylor going again. So I think he's just the best of both worlds on that football team, on that offense. A guy that Anthony Richardson could develop with, could hit him quick in his routes. We got to give him some layups. We got to give Anthony Richardson those layups. And I think Tyler Warren will go a big way with Josh Downs and Alex Pierce on the outside. And your boy, I said Alex Pierce. You know I meant Pittman and then Pierce. Pittman and then Pierce. Yes.
There you go. All right, Tyler Warren to Indy. Dylan, not yet. We haven't done any mocks with the mock trade work in just yet. But after the Super Bowl, we'll be sure to get that going as well. Atlanta, Drew. You know Drew gonna
there
take
it
care
is.
of the Falcons,
There it is. You know what? You asked me on the last live, man. Mike Green to the Falcons. Am I with it? I hesitated, but you know what? I'm with it, man. What he showed in the Senior Bowl. But this is Drew's pick, man. He picked Mike Green to the Falcons last time. That's why I bring him up again. I wouldn't be mad at it right here.
Let me ask you something. Would you take Mike Green? Would you take Mike Green over Nick Scourton? Excuse me. Or Shamar Stewart?
I think we need that fireball off the edge, man. Like we've gone with these physical edge rushers before, and although I love Scourton, I probably have him higher on my board. But just what I think the Falcons need, that fireball off the edge. We got some physical guys along that defensive line already. I'll probably pick Mike Green here for the Falcons.
All right, I'll do solid, man. I'll get you a Mike Green. You can have him, bro. Got you, man.
What are your thoughts on Green, Drew?
So going into the Senior Bowl, the concern was can he stop the run? He's got a little. Can he hold up in the run game? And he did show that at the Senior Bowl. He has a really nice first step. I think he has some good tools in his tool bag in terms of setting offensive linemen up. Has a plan when he's coming off of the edge, and he played well enough for me at the Senior Bowl off the edge, holding up for the run. That I can give him he checked the box for me, bro. That was pretty much what I was looking for.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with the overall physicality, and you saw it on tape, right? When he was a pass rusher, when he was getting upfield, he had the requisite explosiveness as well as physicality. It was the run game. It was a run game that I just did not necessarily see it, but he showed up. He showed up in a big way in Mobile. One of the big winners coming out of Mobile. Dana, you got your Cardinals on the clock, and Will Johnson is staring me in the face. I've had some Cardinals fans say we don't need defensive back. I don't. I think you can always use defensive backs. Although I like some of the young players. If you want to address the downlight or perhaps even receiver, we can go in that direction. I want to hear from Dana in the comments. Headley and Drew, let me get your thoughts in the meantime with respect to Arizona. What do you think they need to prioritize in the 2025 NFL draft?
I don't know, bro. I'm ready to ask the chat, and in this case, Dana, because I got crucified. I think I was the one who made the pick for them boys last mock, and them boys say wasting.
Yeah. I think it got to be defense, bro. It got to be somebody on this defense. There's not really a stud guy. I know Buda Baker's been a stud previously for the Cardinals, but we need some one of those guys at the top of the draft on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, Dylan, I tend to agree with you. I know Dana is mentioning edge is the top need. With Walker and Green off the board, you look at the edges. Do you want to bet on the physical traits of a Mykel Williams or Shamar Scourton? I actually have those three guys over James Pierce, and some may disagree with that, but I have those three players over James Pierce. Walter Nolan was the early pick along the D-line. I love Deion Walker. Speaking of Deion Walker, he was in Mobile. First day, obviously the same issue that we've seen on tape and why people have kind of moved him down the board as far as getting too high, not having good pad level, being easily moved out of the hole. Day 2 came around, he took to the coaching and he was dominant. And then that was a wrap. And then we saw no more Deion Walker, right? Also, he had been playing with a back injury for most of the season. So at his size, 6'6", 350, 340, that's tough to deal with. But once he gets his pad level down, he's a force. So, Dana, I'm going to let you break the tie. DBs are pretty good. Garrett Williams. I like Garrett Williams, come out of Syracuse quite a bit. Max Melton. Buddha's still in the still in the fold. Who do you like here, Dana? Tell me. That's where we're going. That's the direction we're going in. Put Dana on the spot.
Bro, it's an easy one. It's Deion Walker, bro. It's Deion Walker.
I mean, listen, I don't have a problem with it. I want to give it to Dana, though. I want Dana to make the pick.
Big outside, man side corner, but
yeah. Just in terms of looking at the board, you might just say, you know what, Will Johnson's too good for us to pass up on, and I can certainly understand that as well. How do you say that it has to be the defense?
That's what I prefer. It doesn't have to be, but that's what I prefer.
Okay. All right, then I'm gonna split the difference here because as I mentioned, I'm a little higher on some of these other guys compared to James Pierce. I think the thing about Shamar Stewart is that he's just scratching the surface. So you're right. You're right in terms of perhaps Pierce could give you a little bit more immediately on passing downs. I still think James Pierce is a bit of a liability in terms of stopping the run. And Shamar Stewart has the corresponding traits as far as being an explosive edge rusher at 280, at a legit 280. He's not the tweener type. He's a legit 4-3 type of edge who can play 5 technique, 4-eye, and an odd man front. So I think for that reason, I'm going to go the Shamar Stewart route here. Now, you can make the case with respect to Mykel Williams, although I think Stewart has a cleaner bill of health. So let's go with Stewart to the Cardinals. We're going to bet on his upside here.
So I'm going to say this, bro. So in the last mock, because I still got my notes up here, bro, Shamar Stewart went to Arizona at 47 in the last mock.
Ooh.
So what the Senior Bowl does for you.
That bump, that Senior Bowl bump. I mean, it really is a roll of the dice with respect to Stewart. It's a legitimate roll of the dice. You know, there's a lack of production. I think at times he was played out of position, wasn't necessarily allowed to get upfield on a consistent basis. And he mentioned it. We actually interviewed him. Drew, you asked him And he said, I like it out here at wide 9. I like it at the 7. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I could go back to the interior. I think he can reduce down if you need it. But I want to see Stewart give him the opportunity to go in and hunt the passer. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to trying to be that guy that is kind of holding up at the edge at the point of attack. So, again, rolling the dice here on Stewart. But, yeah, definitely getting the big bump from the Senior Bowl. Cincinnati on the clock. I think Dylan is he mentioned he's a Cincy fan. He'd like to work on that offensive line. I agree with that thought process. I agree with that thought process.
Yeah, you said the defensive line, Dylan. Yeah, I was looking at a lot of different things for the Cincinnati Bengals. I was looking at interior offensive line. I was like, should I do it? Should I shop the draft right now? But I said I'm not going to go that way. And then I was also looking at Will Johnson. Man, the slide has gone too far. And the Bengals, some guys who were attacked out there on the outside in Cincinnati, those corners. And the defensive line needs a lot of help too. But I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna save your defensive line right here, Dylan. And I'm gonna go Nick Scarton, man. Nick Scarton from Texas A&M. This guy's a big, physical, greasy, 60-minute type football player, man. Greasy. And this guy's what you want on your team. Him and Walter Nolan to me are these kind of guys where, I might not have all the athleticism to bend the corner, but how I use my hands, how I separate, how I help in the run game also, not just get around the edge like some of these other pass rushers. It's just a complete football player for this defensive line. It's going to help the Bengals.
I like it. If you're not going to go offensive line, in my mind, and you don't love a receiver to replace T. Higgins, I think you need to address the trenches here in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's got to do a better job of controlling the line of scrimmage for sure. Seattle, Mr. C. Praski's Seahawks.
Kelvin Banks is right there, bro.
Again.
Kelvin Banks.
Again. He got him last time.
They did get him last time, but he didn't like it, though. You didn't like it.
Yeah.
So what you saying, Mr. C? What are you saying? Or we can go interior. We can go and get you Tyler Booker right now. Lock it up. Lock it in.
He said nope.
Nope. Okay. No Kelvin Banks then. We won't do that.
Man.
I'm thinking Tyler Booker then, man. Tyler Booker.
Play it safe over to Booker.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm probably going to go is Tyler Booker. Booker or Deion Walker.
Ooh. That's Deion Walker.
That's Deion Walker. I'm going to be responsible. Be responsible. Yeah. Tyler Booker. Let's lock it up.
All right. I guess. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. It's kind of a set and forget there. All right. Drew's Bucks on the clock, and I have, the rare opportunity to throw the curveball and screw up Drew's Bucks. But I'm going to stop the bleeding. I'm going to stop the bleeding here. Headley, Drew. I'm going to go with Will Johnson. We're going to add a corner on the back end of this Bucks defense. I've been telling Drew for years now that they need cornerbacks, and Drew has finally capitulated. He said, yeah, Jamel Dean can't stay healthy. No more Carlton Davis. You got some young guys that have come up and played decently. Zion McCollum has established himself, but they don't have enough of those guys.
All right, man. We got you pick who you got? There you go.
I got Will Johnson.
All right, man. We got the Denver Broncos up next here, and Sean Payton offense. I think they're ahead of expectations. But Bo Nix quarterback play this season. The defense, man, one of the best defenses in the league. Pat Surtain, they can use a corner opposite him, but I think they like what they saw in Riley Moss. I know he got attacked. I think it was the playoff game or late in the season. He's just coming back off an injury, so hopefully he can lock down that second cornerback position. And I'm gonna go tight end, man. It's a tight end needed team. Let's see if Sean Payton could recreate some magic when he had Jimmy Graham in New Orleans. And let's go get Colston Loveland for the Denver Broncos.
All right, additional weapon there for Bo Nix. And yes, Dana, I'll speak for myself. I still have Deion Walker in the first round. Yes, I'm gonna bet on that ability. Pittsburgh, Drew. I don't know. Y'all heard that sound? What was that? Drew had the subwoofer going. Was that me?
My chair? Was that my chair? I heard about my chair made a noise.
I was muted, so I don't know. No, it sounded like somebody was like tapping the mic.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I didn't hear
it had
that.
a beat to
Yeah.
it though. It had a beat
Yeah,
to it.
yeah. That's what I said. Subwoofer.
Yeah, it was funny. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Last time we Loveland went to the Broncos last time too. Just so that you know. For the Pittsburgh Steelers,
that's a good fit too, Dylan. I think that's a quality fit too. Emeka
Yeah, I would say
is a
that too.
professional receiver. Yeah.
Mecca went to the Pittsburgh last time.
Yes, he did. Yes,
that
he
was
did.
DP's pick, and his thought is he's responsible. He's where he's supposed to be, right?
Mhm.
You can't necessarily count on Pickens. You know what I'm saying? Majin Buu, 2.1. So I think that's where I want to stay is the receiver position. But I think so. I got Matthew Golden as receiver too. By the way, I just want to say that.
There you go.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Matthew Golden, bro.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go Matthew
Okay.
Golden.
Not mad at it, bro.
Say it with your
I
chest.
watched the tape. I watched the tape, man, and he's definitely in that conversation. Burden didn't have the big season like we expected. Then you got Trey Harris out there from Ole Miss, a big guy. But what Matthew Golden could do, and you got Ibuka also, but I think what Matthew Golden could do inside or outside, the body control down the sidelines, the release, the route running, man, it just he makes it look easy out there at times. So I'm kind of with you, Drew, man. I'm probably going to jump on that with you, man, wide receiver too.
Yeah, Alex weighing in with respect to Luther Burden. I imagine Alex still has Luther Burden as receiver 2 or in that top receiver conversation with T-Mac, perhaps. It's been kind of a fluid conversation, right? We've talked about Trey Harris being part of that conversation. Luther Burden has a unique skill set. Emeka Egbuka, some people are very, very high on Emeka Egbuka. Second receiver in the class high on Emeka Egbuka. I think the Chargers are kind of a unique situation where they could stand to address a couple different areas early. Cornerback being one, just because of contract situations, and then the receiving position. They've tried it. They clearly have something to Lab McConkey, but I think they're missing weapons. I think they need more weapons that they can actually depend on. Right? Quentin Johnston is a guy that we weren't terribly high on. We kind of had him more day 2. Ultimately, goes in the first, and he's been inconsistent. To say the least, right? He's had some critical drops throughout his career. Doesn't always create a ton of separation. Luther Burden certainly is part of the conversation. I think Egbuka and Ladd's skill set are kind of similar in my mind. Trey Harris could kind of fill what you have in Quentin Johnston. But if you're going to roll with Quentin Johnston out there with McConkey, I'm going to add Luther Burden to that mix. I think what he does with the ball in his hands is unique. And I think the Chargers specifically can really use that playmaking ability. A guy that can kind of create on his own, given, some manufactured touches, you know what I'm saying? And really do his thing. That being said, I still think Luther Burden has room to grow, and he's not a lemon. Let me put it that way. He's not a lemon in terms of route running. He's not the most polished, of course, but I think this guy still has a lot of good football in front of him. And because of some of the quarterback play and the fact that Missouri as a team took a step back, his star is down a bit. But again, when you talk about players with the ball in their hands, he's among the best in this class. So give me Luther Burden to the Chargers. Green Bay on the clock, Headley. Jake's Packers.
All right, man. It looks like we got a little run on wide receivers right now. So I'm in a situation where I think the Packers could use another wide receiver as well. I thought that statement was kind of ludicrous last season, but with the Christian Watson injury, Romeo Dobbs on and off the field as well. I love Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed's one of my guys. So, but to get this offense to another level with Jordan Love, maximize his potential, I think a big deep play threat like Trey Harris might be in the works here. And then the cornerback position. What are we doing, Jair Alexander? Is he coming back? If he's coming back, I'm more confident in getting the wide receiver here. If he's not, then it's another corner I love in Benjamin Morrison, man, from Notre Dame. Man-to-man skill set. He's coming off the hip injury, but the tape is great, bro. Like, he's the type of corner that could travel, could play zone, could play man. He attacks the ball at the highest point, man. He's just sticky man-to-man corner. So, I'm torn between those two guys, but I'm gonna go Trey Harris. I'm gonna go Trey Harris, man. I'm gonna go with what on the offensive side of football with Jordan Love and get him a big play weapon. So that's where I'm gonna go for the Green Bay Packers.
All right. I think Packers fans certainly are open to the idea of receiver. Again, where people have Trey Harris, may be a little bit more volatile. We like him here at CPGM. We're fans of Trey Harris. Certainly comfortable with him in the back end of the first round. Mrs. Prasky mentioned, does the receiver 2 conversation include Travis Hunter? He's he's an outlier as far as I'm concerned. But if you want to factor him in, he's part of the conversation for the top receiver in the class, in my mind, right?
Yeah.
T-Mac is the guy that you feel most comfortable about because that's what he does full time. But just in terms of just raw ability, he certainly is in that conversation to be the first receiver off the board. So I kind of left him out of that conversation just for contextual purposes.
It may come down to like your flavor. I think receiver is always kind of like that. It's just kind of the flavor between Golden, T-Mac, and Harris, I think. You know what I'm saying? So I was gonna say something about Green Bay. Oh, but you seen Josh Jacobs, bro? He was out there at Radio.
Yeah, I heard him.
That boy did a receiver 1, bro. Got him a receiver 1, Headley.
I heard
there you go. There you go.
Yeah. You know Joseph Barrios seems to think that Higgins is the guy, bro. Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State.
Oh, I love what he did in the Senior Bowl. He's definitely a riser in this class. The route running, the release. I just like the big playability that Trey and Jordan Love that connection. It could be lights, camera, action over there, and Jaden Reed across the middle with those tight ends as well.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more juice with Harris, but I would say this. I mean, I guess you could have went Benjamin Morrison and then turn around and got you a Higgins in the second round.
That's the Packers MO. That's the Packers MO.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
in all likelihood, that's what the Packers would do, right? Is they would go get the corner, and then come back day 2 and get the receiver. Because if you're going to consider Trey Harris a day 2 guy, then I'm putting Jaden Higgins in that day 2 conversation as well. I'm taking Harris over Higgins at this point.
All right, man. In our last mock, Deion Walker went to the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think all these corners were on the board at that time.
I think I made that pick. I made that pick, didn't I?
You made that pick?
I think
I don't think I think the top 4-ish corners were gone. So I think Deion Walker's sitting there. You got to take him. In this case, that is not the case. We have Benjamin Morrison. We have Siobhan Ravel still on the board. According to Headley, I'm gonna take the best man-to-man corner. I probably agree with you. And Benjamin Morrison. Hopefully the hips are right. We want those hips to be right. You can't play corner if you ain't got hips. That's when you get moved to safety. Unless you run a 4.7 like Tease Tabor, then you're gonna be in and out of the league real quick. But we gonna get Benjamin Morrison out of Notre Dame, and yeah, that's who we grabbing. Let's do it.
All right, Ben Moore to Notre Dame again. Season cut short, but I don't know if it's even arguable. Right, this is the best man-to-man corner in the class.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And there's a couple good ones. There are a couple good ones in here. We'll probably hear their names come off the board here shortly. But Benmo to the Vikings. That puts me back in the driver's seat. Got Houston, and I want to keep CJ Stroud upright. And I think the best way to do that is to add Kelvin Banks Jr. Whether he plays tackle or plays in the interior. I know some folks feel like he's a bit heavy-footed. It's not fleet of foot enough to be out there, going after the wide 9, the guy that's lining up in the 7. But I'm going to give him an opportunity to play tackle opposite Laramie Tunsil. And then if that doesn't work out, we'll kick him inside the guard. I still like Kelvin Banks quite a bit. I think he comes at value here, 25th overall to the Texans. All right, Helly, got the Rams on the clock.
All right, LA Rams.
To Papa, what's up?
I love. First off, I want to say I love what the Rams has done in the draft last couple of seasons. Home runs, back-to-back year. The defensive line with Kobe Turner, Byron Young, Fisk, and Verse. Like you get that in 2 years, bro. Like that's ridiculous. I know corner is a big need for these boys as well. But I'm gonna go sexy. I'm gonna go sexy right here, and I'm gonna get Emeka Ibuka, wide receiver, to pair with Puka Nacua for the Rams.
Sounds right. It just sounds right. I mean, it all rhymes as well, but just in terms of their feel for the game, their intelligence, their football IQ, on top of their physical abilities, I think Ibuka could work into this offense seamlessly. There's a lot of responsibility for these receivers. These receivers have to block, and there's a lot of interchangeable alignments that are made. You're going to have to learn multiple positions. You're going to have to learn the X, the Z, and the Y. But I think Ibuka certainly is capable of it. So I like it. Good replacement. I agree with you there, Dylan. For one Cooper Kupp, Baltimore on the clock here, Drew. What do you do for the Ravens?
For the Ravens,
who seemingly are always picking in this spot. 27th, bro. Like 27th, 28th. That's where the Ravens pick every year, bro.
That's where they live, bro. They're trying to get to 32, though. You know, they got some things to work on to get there. For these boys here, I'm gonna make a point here. Okay.
Making
because
a point.
Let me see what's left. Yeah, let me make sure. Yeah. Because we grab my boy. All right. I'm gonna make a point here because
this is a princely pick.
Talked about it.
This is a princely pick, isn't it?
Princely, bro. Yeah, it's princely, bro. You know, and we talked about it last week. Well, y'all talked about it last week in terms of, you know, Michael Williams is probably going to go before Princely. I said that's ludicrous. That's crazy. Gonna have to bring people to the front of the congregation because that sounds. I can't agree with it. Like Michael Williams hasn't showed enough this past year to say that he's that guy. We know he's a power edge. We know he can. You know, he can hold up in the run game, set the edge, all of that. But can you consistently pass rush? And that's what we're waiting for. We always talking about checking boxes, right? Every year we look at these prospects and we say, hey, he's got 3 or 4 boxes to check. Really, Michael had 1, bro. We just show us more in terms of pass rush. We just have more production, right? And last year I don't think he played. Last year I don't think he played as much. This year was the year he was supposed to, kind of show up and. Ends up he's kind of in and out of the lineup, got hurt. So, never really kind of turned that over in terms of seeing all the tools and being able to be an effective pass rusher. And for some reason, I guess people like the size and all of that, man. But I'm going to take Princely, bro. I'm going to take Princely Umanellan. I don't know if I said it right. Hit me with the phonetics in the comment section. But we're taking the former Gator, now Ole Miss Rebel, Princely, bro. I know, there's some haters out there, and some boards and in mock drafts, they've dropped him. I think he's what was he? The one you had sent over in the messenger, bro? He wasn't even in the mock draft. Was that a mock draft? Or was it a board?
It was a
wasn't even in that boy, right? If you're telling me there's red flags that I'm unaware of in terms of character, that's one thing. But if you're telling me the better player, it's Princely, bro, because he can drop back in the coverage, he can rush the passer, he can defend the run, edge. He's got to keep his feet. I think he does a little too much, trying to show off a little too much at times. But 3rd and 12, bro, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8, he's gonna go hunt the quarterback, bro. I don't know if Michael can do that consistently, so that's where I stand.
I hear you. I certainly hear you. I know what Michael can do. I know what he can do. I know what kind of physicality he plays with, and I'm gonna challenge my coaches. I'm gonna challenge my coaches to unlock what we think he can be in terms of a pass rusher.
Bruh. They haven't unlocked anybody over in the past couple of years they've drafted, bro. I'm saying a guy that's ready to go versus a guy I have to unlock. Baltimore.
No. I'm not making this argument. I'm not making this argument for Baltimore.
Okay.
I'm not making an argument for Baltimore. I'm not debating your selection in terms of Prince.
Cool.
I agree with the notion that you want to come away with someone who has, some proven productivity from a pass rush perspective, right? If you're going to go the edge direction. So I'm certainly not mad at it. I'm talking about for Detroit. I think Michael Williams fits Detroit perfectly. And I think this was a pick last time. I think this might have been the pick last time. Certainly corner is part of the conversation. And there's some good ones here. There's Ravel, there's Barron, there's Azariah Thomas, Maxwell. There's quite a few good ones here. But I'm gonna go with Michael. I'm gonna bet on those traits. See if we can get someone to really hold up opposite Hutchinson. And here's the thing: a healthy Hutchinson, Michael's gonna get a ton of one-on-one opportunities. I know he's gonna be solid, if not above, if not really good in terms of the run defense, right? And the few flashes that we've seen in terms of the pass rush are very intriguing. You can't teach the traits that he possesses. This is a traits-based league. I'll go with Michael Williams here to Detroit. See if we can unlock him. Commanders, Hadley.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Commanders here. A few needs here. I think they could use another wide receiver with a Jaden Daniels. I think they can improve the running back room. So do we get 2 running backs in the first round with Amari and Hampton to Washington? I thought the offensive line played better than expected. I'm sure they're going to add some depth to the offensive line, but I'm not going to target offensive line here for Washington. So I'm looking on the defensive side of the ball, and it's two guys I'm looking at. I think the cornerback class is probably the most talented class left on the board right now. You got Siobhan Ravel from East Carolina out there, and Jadai Barron, Azariah Thomas. I think all three of those guys could be first-round players. But I'm also looking at a pass rusher, and I'm looking at James Pierce Jr., man. So I want to ask the room real quick, man. Phone a friend right here. What y'all think about James Pierce Jr. here with Washington? I know Dan Quinn, he had Vic Beasley at Atlanta, a guy that could get around the edge. And you talk about talent and potential, could bend it. He just got to show up more in the run game. But Washington does need a pass rusher, man, desperately.
I think Pierce is a bit too linear for my liking. He's a bit too linear, too much one pony, one trick, one pony type of deal. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's easy to prepare for him. You know what I mean? Now he may sneak up on you with that first step because he's explosive, but I think it's kind of easy to prepare for him, and I don't think he gives you a ton in terms of the run defense at this point. He's got a little bit stronger from one year to the next, but he's like a lot of these guys. He's got more development to undertake. My thought process here is that this is actually a good fit, though, right? The Commanders are going to roll out a pretty deep rotation of pass rushers. They don't necessarily have guys currently on the roster, at the edge position that are just, play the lion's share of the snaps every down. That, you know what I'm saying? They excel. They kind of put guys in position to do what they do well. And I think Pierce would be given the opportunity to do so initially and grow into a more complete football player. So I actually like him for the Commanders here.
I ain't mad at it either. I'm right there with Juice. I would probably, because this is a team who
this is a Myles Garrett. This is a Myles Garrett trade if you ask me.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
if you ask me,
but if you're not trading for him, I think I would prefer Jack Sawyer over James Pierce, just because Jack Sawyer is the total package. He just doesn't necessarily have that bend, that burst right off the edge, but he's consistent, and he knows where he's supposed to be. He's going to defend the run, that edge like we like. And then here and there, he's just going to splash play here and there in terms of pass rush, right? So if you're saying you want a guy who's going to be an instant impact immediate, I think it's Jack Sawyer over James Pierce for me. Now, by season's end, James Pierce might be that guy. If that's what we're saying, I just don't know if that's going to be the case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm thinking about the division right now. You got the Giants, the Cowboys, the Eagles, a physical team. So yeah, let me go get Jack Sawyer. I'm with you on the Jack Sawyer. I think he could be a first round guy as well. Just adds more physicality than Pierce. And these are the conversations that's going to be going on in the front office about James Pierce. So I think he's a talented pass rusher. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes a lot higher. I think somebody mentioned that in the chat. But I'm gonna go with the short thing, the physical player, the Dan Quinn type of football player in Jack Sawyer right here.
I guess that leaves me James Pierce for the Buffalo Bills. But I talked you out of it.
You got me.
I got you. But this to me is, I think them boys just need a different type of pass rusher, bro. I'm tired of seeing the big strong guy coming off the edge. I know them boys got Von Miller, but is Von Miller all right, bro? He's good. Just we old out here, bro. Is that what we saying?
We're longer in the tooth. We're definitely longer in the tooth at this point.
All right. Well, we're going to grab a James Pierce here, Jr. for the Buffalo Bills. Doesn't have to come in and necessarily be the hero. But again, I was talking about, by season's end, can he be that guy? You know what I'm saying? Can we work him into it? So I think this is a good selection for these boys here, the edge James Pierce.
All right. No notes on that one. I kind of already discussed how I feel about Pierce, and I think you're right, Drew, as far as him being able to kind of be eased in, considering the rotation that they have up front currently. But they're going to need him. By season's end, they're going to need him. They want to make that deep playoff run and actually get over the Kansas City hump. He's going to have to be a factor. So that takes us to Philly, and I mean, I could go to the school of Stoutsman right here. I certainly could, and just add offensive linemen and just be prepared for that in the future. The Philadelphia team needs, according to the NFL mock draft database, suggests edge. And then, of course, this off-ball linebacker that, of course, I'm sure Eagles fans would be like, what are you doing? We don't draft linebackers in the first round. But this is a unique player, though, in Jahad Campbell. Unique player, 3-down capability, makes plays. I think in the last mock draft, Drew, you had him going to the Bucks. What was that, 20th overall? You know what I mean? So the ascent that he's had over the course of the second half of the 2023 season and throughout the 2024 season has been really impressive. If we go to the offensive side of the ball, can we add a receiver? A lot of good corners out here too, but that's one area that they've really made a concerted effort to improve. I'm going to go with Campbell. I'm going to break tendency here for the Eagles, and I'm going to add Campbell. Yes. As you mentioned, Dylan, a bit of a drop-off. Good players, don't get me wrong, but a bit of a drop-off after Campbell. All right, Headley. Last pick of the first round here, KC.
Well, the Chiefs are, they're going for the three-peat this Sunday. They don't need any more help, man. That's what I'm gonna say for the Chiefs. They get a lot of help out there. You guys was on there early, but they get a lot of help out there. I'm gonna leave it like that. But I'm gonna go with Josh Conley Jr. I think this is a Chiefs type of pick right here. The offensive line has been an issue, especially the left tackle position. Even the right tackle position struggles sometimes, man. So I think Conley to the Chiefs is a good fit.
Okay. Conley to the Chiefs.
The rich get richer, bro. Real quick, in terms of
there's a lot of talent on the board. There really is a lot of talent on the board. So yeah.
I was gonna say in terms of the positions, and I forget who said it. It kind of started it and kind of made me think about it. Oh, it was Dylan. In terms of all the positions that between the very first player at that position ranked and the next player, I think linebackers is that position where there's a tier break right after that first player.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. In terms of, I think all the other positions could be arguable, maybe inside O-line, maybe
interior. Gotcha.
I mean, maybe, you could argue, but I think linebacker is probably the one if we had to think about it. But yeah, all right. We have
first pick of the second round. First pick of the second round here.
Cleveland Browns. So I'm thinking about doing something, and I might upset some folks. Okay.
All right. Let's ruffle some feathers.
So I was in Mobile talking to he sounded like he was a Browns guy because he knew a lot about the Browns. And he said, hey man, listen. If Jalen Milroe goes out here and has a decent Senior Bowl, which obviously that's not what happened. You know what I'm saying? He was like, listen, I think he said I want to say it's his old OC is over there with the Cleveland Browns. And he said, maybe they go and get Jalen Milroe. They go and they jump up into the first round, grab him to get that extra fifth year. Right. Obviously Senior Bowl was not good for Jalen Milroe. And so I'm going to go in a different direction. I say all that to say this. I'm going in a different direction, same position, just in a different direction. I'm going to go with quarterback 3 in Jackson Dart. We're gonna grab him.
That's QB 3, Jackson Dart.
I mean, bro, and I say that gingerly because there's the first 2, and then there's a Grand Canyon, and then there's quarterback 3. Okay, that's what I'm saying. All right, but we're gonna go with the hype of Jackson Dart. I think he helped himself during the Senior Bowl. He's probably the top quarterback that did. I think we spoke about that in our previous live. And for us, for me in particular, biggest thing for Jackson Dart is processing. And making the right read. And I think he did that, decently over there at the Senior Bowl. And, obviously I think he can only ascend to keep going up. And in this case, I don't know that he necessarily needs to be the starter, but if Cleveland is going to draft a quarterback in the second round with that 33rd pick, I think they need to jump up into the first round and grab the guy for that fifth year option.
I hear what you're saying. It makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah. If you're planning on taking a quarterback 33rd overall, you might as well get into the bottom half of the first round. Give yourself a little bit more flexibility. Makes a lot of sense. Giants on the clock. Let me see what I'm gonna do for D-Kid here. I've already made up my mind. I'm going with big Deion Walker. A lot of good interior defensive linemen here. You can certainly make a case for all of these guys, but I remain steadfast. I think Walker's ceiling is the highest among all of these guys. So give me Deion Walker to the Giants. Tennessee, Headley.
Yeah, the Titans. First pick we got Cam Ward, quarterback from the U. And once you draft your quarterback, you kind of want to put some weapons around them or get an offensive lineman to protect them. I don't love any receivers at the top of the second here. I like Jaden Higgins. Jalen Royals has been our guy here. CPGM Juice's guy. I think Tez Johnson is fascinating. It's just I don't think because of the weight concerns. I think some teams are not going to draft him as early as I will hope because he's a baller. But I'm gonna go defensive side of the ball, man. And I'm gonna go with Jahdae Barron. I think he's a first-round talent. I just think he's fallen a little too far here for the Titans. I think he could play nickel. He could play outside, and he's just a physical football player to help you defense out, man. So I'm gonna go Barron here for the Titans.
Yeah, Tennessee doesn't have a third-round selection, so with this early second-round pick, they may be in the market. They may be in the market of moving down, adding another day 2 selection, unless, of course, they have a player like Barron, as you mentioned, who many have kind of pegged as a bottom of the first round guy, slides out of the first round. It may be too good to pass up at that point. So certainly understand the selection of Barron to Tennessee. Keep this 3-round 2025 NFL mock draft going. Drew, you got the Jaguars on the clock. Mason Graham in the first round and 3 day 2 selections. In the meantime, David Valentine's question here. Helly, your thoughts on who fits at receiver opposite Terry McLaurin?
Either Jalen Royals, quick runner, or Savion, big physical guy. I think Royals. I like when Jaden Daniels get the ball out of his hands quickly. And Royals is the guy that could get open quickly. You got McLaurin, the route runner, a little down the field. Royals will be helping that screen game that they like to run, get yards after the catch as well. So I'm gonna go Royals, man. He's like should I say it, the Deebo Samuels of this class.
He certainly put together like Deebo, and he's physical. You mentioned Savion being physical. General Royals is very physical in his own right. Listen, I mentioned it earlier. Walker, we had a chance to speak to him in Mobile. He's playing with an injury to his back most of the season. So the pad level, which is a concern, it's on tape, certainly needs to be addressed. When that pad level got situated day 2, though, he could not be blocked. No one could block him. I've seen Deion Walker take over games in the SEC by himself, one-man wrecking crew, right? So the idea is we're going to coach him up, okay? And if I can get him in the second round, even though you might feel like it's third-round tape, I think he has first-round skills. So we'll split the difference and take him in the second round. Jacksonville, Drew?
Oh, yeah, Drew, you got something wrong, too. The Chiefs, I got Connerly, not Ursery. Just for your updates. It's all
okay.
good. Just for your updates. Keep you honest.
Let me know. Let me know if I got it wrong. Yeah, I keep you honest, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nobody in the comments ain't let me know either, man. I ain't paying attention, man. Come on. So Jacksonville, they need some O-line help. They need Jesus Christ over there to protect Trevor Lawrence, but they also need cornerbacks. I think cornerbacks probably the bigger need. It's bad. It's real bad.
It's bad. It is bad.
So I think we're gonna go ahead and get Shaban Ravel. I'm taking him off the board. I was thinking Ezra Thomas or Trey Amos, because he's come. Ravel's coming off of that injury, but we're gonna assume he's healthy. After the combine, I guess we'll know a little bit more, and maybe he'll drop.
Sure.
But for now, we're gonna assume that he's going to be fine.
All right. Not mad at it. All right. So you guys went with T-Mac in the first round, Ted McMillan. We need somebody to throw the ball to him. We definitely need somebody to throw the ball to him. I think it should be Justin Fields personally, right? If you don't come away with the Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, which obviously seems unlikely with the 6th overall pick, I would be going to Justin Fields route personally. And while there's a couple quarterbacks that I think would be in the conversation, Will Howard, Kyle McCord, obviously getting a lot of love. He's getting that bump as well. Has the NFL arm for certain. I want to go in a different direction. I think I'm going to go back to the well. Actually, you know what? Whoever's playing quarterback, we're going to take care of them. I was thinking corner here, and your boy Max Crosby might be on the move, unfortunately, for the Raiders. But I want to create an environment that is really conducive for success from whoever's playing the quarterback position. Give me Omari and Hampton, like Hampton in that backfield, man. I know some folks have him, 1A, 1B with Ashton Genty, or perhaps even above Ashton Genty in the rankings. I wouldn't go that far, but I'm a Hampton guy. I've been a big fan, and I think he comes at good value here in the early parts of the second round. New England. Adley.
All right. Got Travis Hunter there. Stud, probably the top player in this class. And it alleviates two issues for the for New England corner, but he's going to be playing wide receiver, especially in this wide receiver room. We need Drake May, a weapon out there. So you kind of made this pick, maybe go inside to the offensive line here for New England. And I'm going to go Gray Zabel. I picked him last time as kind of a surprise, a shocking pick in the latest mock draft. But after the Senior Bowl, I feel he's helped himself the most. I think he was the best player out there. And I wouldn't be surprised he's a first-round player. I know Drew said earlier that is Booker and maybe a drop-off, but I think Zabel's on his heels now, man, and I think he'll fit really well in this Patriots offensive line. 5 positions. He can play tackle, guard, center. So, and they have needs all over this offensive line, man. We got to protect Drake May. So I'm going to go get Gray Zabel.
Yeah, I think Zabel would have been a nice addition to Chicago at 39, but good selection. Hadley was on it early. And as you mentioned, he's getting the big bump. He's getting the big bump, and that bump may be strong enough to put him in the first round after a really impressive showing in Mobile. All right, Drew, what do you do here? 39th overall. We got a couple picks coming up here for Chicago. So what do you do 39th overall? Hey man, they said Lamar Lamar got enough hardware, bro. You know what I'm saying? And they said it's a quarterback league. We're definitely not giving it to a running back, Saquon. So there you have it.
That's breaking news right there.
Apparently.
Man, that's crazy.
Hey man. The writers.
It's like the Joker rule, man. You can win it every year. Let's try to give it to somebody else. Even though we boy Shea, I think he's a front runner this year, man. Yeah, y'all watching Shea? Woof.
Nah, not yet.
Woof.
Not yet. I got after the All-Star break, I'll poke my head in, but he is different. he got that throwback game. He got a throwback game, bro. That's why I look different. All right, what you doing here, Drew? You're muted, sir.
I said, y'all talking basketball?
I just had to throw it out there. The Joker thing led me to Shea. I just had to mention Shea right there because he's different. Nah.
I might be different. You feel me? Just, all right. All right. So for Chicago, I was thinking going interior offensive line before. I can't go interior offensive line, although might be able to come back at 41 and grab a guy. Guess I'm gonna be responsible. We're gonna do the right thing, man. We're gonna go get off the line, protect our quarterback. Caleb Williams, can't have him run around there trying to play save me football, or Caleb save us. So we're gonna get Donovan Jackson. I want to go Jonah, man, but damn, that Senior Bowl was rough, bro. It was rough, bro. So we're gonna get us to Donovan Jackson here, man.
Well, just before we move on, so obviously the pick is Donovan Jackson. Makes a ton of sense, and Donovan Jackson actually acquitted himself really well, stepping in for Josh Simmons at left tackle as he got more and more comfortable throughout the latter parts of the season and into the college football playoff. But Jonah has played tackle throughout his collegiate career. We all viewed him as an interior offensive lineman, and of course, his worst reps, because he struggled. He definitely struggled in Mobile. His worst reps came at tackle, right? Yep. He's an interior offensive lineman. He's a guard. So, just got to be prepared to make that transition. We got the Saints on the clock here. Will Campbell in the first round. I'm going to stay along the defensive line. It's meat and potatoes, inside out. I know this team could certainly use a corner, but I'm gonna put Kenneth Grant next to Brian Brzee, bro, and just beat folks up, bro. Just be disgusting up front. Beat folks up, man. Brzee, in my mind, the light switch went off, right? He started to really figure it out this year. Kenneth Grant, I would imagine, will have his growing pains as a rookie, but by the time year 2, year 3 comes around, they'll be a formidable duo. So give me Kenneth Grant here, 40th overall to the Saints.
All right, we got the Chicago Bears back on the clock, and we doubled up on the offensive line, Membo and Jackson, and Caleb Williams. He needs all the help in the world. I think offensive line is the biggest need for Chicago, so I'm not mad at the double up there. Edge rusher is a big need as well, and I'm looking at these edges. You got Landon Jackson, JT Tuamolo, Zikura, said that wrong, Boston College edge rusher. Ezereku, and Kyle Kennard's an interesting name. I know you sent me a tweet today, Juice, about Kyle Kennard's the answer over Skyerton and Shamar Stewart. I'm not going to go that far, but I do love what Kyle Kennard did in the season, in the regular season, in the big moments, getting after the quarterback. He was the best guy there for a lot of times for South Carolina on a loaded defensive line. You're talking about TJ Sanders, you're talking about Dylan Stewart, the 6-star. Ballers after ballers there. So
Tonka out there. Yeah.
Hemingway. Yeah. But I'm gonna do something different. And I haven't seen this connection yet, but I think it's a great fit here for Chicago. I think maybe, Austin Booker is an edge rusher I like last season, a 5th-round guy. I think he could kind of come in and get some pass rush opposite Montez Sweat. But I'm gonna go Nick Emenwari for the Chicago Bears here, a safety, because I think that's a position in need as well. And this guy has it all: the size, the speed. He can hit. He can play the pass game. So I think he's a complete football player. And we talk about size, speed combination. Yeah, he's that guy, man. He's a great safety, and I think he'll fit right there in the Chicago Bears defense.
All right, there's some national scouts, draft analysts that have Emenwari like way ahead of Malachi Starks. I don't see it that way, but Emenwari is a really impressive prospect, right? I could see a scenario if teams get their acts together, right, and stop depreciating the safety position, where he could work his way into the bottom part of the first round as well. I think he's that talented in this particular crop. I think he certainly is capable of that. And when you talk about just physical tools and attributes, I think that's what some folks kind of favor over Starks. A lot of really, really good film. Really good film in 2024 from Emenwari. Jets, Drew.
Harold Fannin.
Ooh. Lock it up.
Lock it up.
I went Tyler Warren with the other one. He's still on the board.
Okay.
Yeah.
Harold Fannin it is. Bro. Harold Fannin it is. We did not get to see the best of Harold Fannin in the Senior Bowl, and I think that had more to do with the quarterback play and the coaching. But the few flashes, he made a really nice one-handed grab, I think, on during red zone 11-on-11. It was impressive. Back of the end zone. He's a weapon. He's a weapon. To me, it's about coaching. I think he's a willing, not a great blocker by any stretch of the imagination. Some people think he's terrible, think he's just kind of a turnstile. I don't think he's that bad. I think he just needs to work on it. I think he needs more opportunities to work on it. I also saw coaches, and again, this gets back to the issues we had with the coaching. I saw him try to put him in pass pro at one point, and that to me just completely defeats the purpose in terms of what Harold Fannin offers as far as his skill set. So I like the pick. Drew. There was another tight end I had in mind. I was thinking about for New York in Fannin instead, but I'm okay with the Fannin selection. That puts me on the clock here, San Francisco. Headley, you went with Jalen Walker in the first round. I wanna get that tackle position situated, and I think based on the names that we have here, it's got to be Ursary. Right, expected a little bit more from Ursary and Mobile. Wasn't a terrible performance. It just wasn't dominance. I think we were anticipating dominance from him, right, to really solidify himself as a first round prospect, and I don't think he managed that. As a result, he slips a bit here in the mock draft. So I actually think he comes at pretty solid value here, 43rd overall to San Francisco. So give me Ursary out of Minnesota.
All right, Dallas on the clock. You got Ashton Genty. Excellent pick. I think he's probably a top 3 player in this class, behind Hunter and Abdul Carter. And at 44, I'm thinking wide receiver. I've been yelling wide receiver for the Cowboys for some time now. But I'm gonna go in a different direction. I think the pick of Genty kind of makes it easier for Dak. He doesn't have to rely on the passing game as much, and we probably get a receiver later on in the class. I'm gonna go along the defensive line for Dallas, and I'm gonna go big Tyleek Williams from Ohio State. This guy, physical football player. To me, when he came in, he was a first round guy. It was some concerns this season. I think the motor waned a little bit. I just don't see the same burst or juice from him. Hopefully, he get it together, man, because it's a first round talent going in the second round and could be a steal in this class.
Yeah, looked a little bit like a different player. I wonder if there was an injury concern, something that was nagging him, whatever the case may be. But at times, very much dominant, very, very much dominant at times. Honestly, for the balance of the last couple of seasons, he was the best defensive lineman, bro. I know Sawyer and JT, they kind of got things going there in the playoffs and made some splash plays or whatever the case may be. But down in, down out, game to game, Tyleek Williams was the best defensive lineman for Ohio State. At times, the best defensive player, and then Caleb Downs showed up, and that all changed. So, Drew, Indy, 45th overall.
Yeah, I'm thinking corner or I'm thinking safety. And as of right now, in terms of the board, I think I'm going to go with the safety and Xavier Watts from Notre Dame. He just seems to breathe around the football. He turns the football over. You kind of want that from your safety. I think he can do kind of anything that you want from the safety position, single high, coming down in the box. He does a lot of that robber stuff, takes the lanes away where the quarterback wants to go, fills some holes. So let's go with Xavier Watts here at the safety position from Notre Dame.
Okay. I like it. I think it fills a need, and you can kind of just leave him at the top of the roof and let him do his thing. Really eliminate things on the back end. Atlanta, Dirty Birds, Headley. So no picks for you for your squad, Headley, but I'm gonna take care of you, right? You got the Mike Green, you got the pass rush. I in my mind, I know you probably would want to go receiver here, get that guy opposite Big Draco. I'm gonna go get your boy.
Yeah, I know you're
my
going.
boy.
My
boy, but he can't be my boy because of the U, but he's my boy at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Give me Azariah Thomas, man. We locking it down at the corner now, man. I love the bookends at your corner position with Thomas in the fold.
Yeah, that's where I was going next, man. We're thinking the same thing on that one. The cornerback position. I love Azariah's game, man. They're talking about length. You're talking about a guy with length that gets up above the rim. He's like a pterodactyl out there. He just gets to every football on the boundary. So I like his physicality. Put him with Mike Green. I like that pairing. Get after the quarterback and protect on the back end with Azariah Thomas and AJ Terrell.
Yeah. Well, y'all got two pterodactyls out there, bro. Both of them boys got that reach. Boys long out there.
Yeah, Thomas and Terrell at your corners, and you got Bates on top of the roof. Yeah, man. Yeah. But we challenging everything. Everything is being challenged. All right, Dana's Cardinals back on the clock here, Headley.
Yeah, we went and got Shamar Stewart, the edge rusher there. I know some talks on who was going to get there, but I think the defensive side of the football, I think we just keep adding to it. Let's keep adding to it. You could use a running back to upgrade this room with Connor's age. But, after the top two running backs, I think it's a little drop in some other guys there. But I'm going to go on the defense side of football. I'm going to go corner. I'm going to go to cornerback position. Oh, there you go, Dana. Appreciate you. You got D tackle, offensive tackle, interior offensive line. So offensive line is a big need for you guys as well. But I'm actually... Yeah, let me go get him, man. Let me go get him. I'm gonna go get a corner for you, man. I'm gonna go get Trey Amos from Ole Miss.
Yeah, Amos had another solid week in the Mobile. I think he just checked boxes, and I think that's kind of the next step in this pre-draft process for him. Go to the combine, run well, and again, we could be talking about him potentially, breaking that seal in terms of the first round. A good week. All right, Drew, you got the Fins up next in the mock draft. Walter Nolan in the first round. I really feel like this team needs to be more physical at the point of attack. What do you do as an encore here for the Fins?
For the Fins, I do agree they need to be more physical at the point of attack. Let me just see what it looks like in terms of physicality on the board. All right, I think we're going to go offensive line because we do need to shore some things up there.
Okay.
And I think, where do I want to go? Decisions, bro. I'm gonna go Wyatt Millum from West Virginia, man.
Hey, you were just talking about him, Drew.
Was
You
I?
say him? You said maybe you were talking greasy about Wyatt. Just
I was, yeah. It wasn't. He was in the same category as Ursary for me. Just you ain't. I was expecting you to come out there and dominate, bro. Expecting you to be, every day. That was one of the guys who showed up, and I wouldn't say I don't think he was as might as. Yeah, I think him and Ursary probably had about the same. But hey man, it's Senior Bowl ain't everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? So and then again, that's one of those things where you're playing different positions. If you're right, you're playing left now. If you're left, you're playing right now, playing tackle, playing some center, just moving around can throw you off, right? So but yeah, we're gonna get us a Wyatt Millum. Who can be a little bit of a bully, man. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about we need to be physical up front on both sides of the football, especially on the defensive side. No, actually both sides of the football for Miami, because they called the boys marshmallowy soft, bro. They said them boys just running around with just a bunch of speed, man. You know what I'm saying? Remember the Colts back in the day, bro?
Yes. They are very much built that way, but they don't have a Mathis and a Freeney. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have a Bob Sanders on the back end. You know what I mean? So yeah. No, you're right. I'm looking at the Cincinnati team, man, and I know. I'm getting some feedback from the audience. We got to need that receiver. We need to get the interior of the offensive line straightened out, and I think the interior of the defensive line. I know we went scouting in the first, and that's fine. That's fine. My assumption is you're going to bring back Hendrickson, or maybe you move off of Hendrickson, right? And that really is the reason why you prioritize an edge. You know what I mean? I disagree with that. I think Henderson needs to come back. You elevate Miles Murphy. And then maybe you get a guy in the interior, which is the direction I'd like to go here. And the more and more that I'm looking at it, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to double down. It's going to be a meat and potatoes through these first couple of selections here. Give me Derek Harmon to Cincinnati. Really shore up that defensive line.
Nice first step. Burst. He's got some strength to deal with, double teams at times. Can split the double teams. I like Derek Harmon, man. Consistently showed up this year.
And
over I think Jordan Birch, by the way.
Another thing you have to consider in terms of the defensive line. Again, I recognize the need at receiver, interior offensive line. We got to keep Joe Burrow upright. We got to make sure that he had not to say that Joe Burrow needs to have weapons all over the place, but all quarterbacks could stand to have talent around them, right? The most important thing is really keeping him upright. There's some names that I like a little bit, in the third round that I think are guys that can be plugged in immediately. So that's kind of my thought process moving forward. I'm going to lobby whoever's selecting for Cincinnati. I'm going to lobby for that third selection here in this mock draft. But I think the value for Harmon and assuming Hendrickson is back in the fold, I don't know why you would let him walk out the door. I think interior defensive lineman is the bigger need than edge. Now you may feel from a rankings perspective and the fact that you can never have enough good guys up front. And that's the point that I'm getting at, is that I'd like to have a rotation here in Cincinnati, right? You know what I'm saying? You want to have depth. You want to keep guys healthy. You want to keep guys fresh so that they can be effective. So we double up on the defensive line here. All right. Booker 18th overall in the first round, Headley. What do you do here in Seattle for Mr. C's Seahawks?
Emory Jones, man. Right tackle. No, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you, Mr. C, man. I'm not going to do that to you right now.
Kick him inside, bro. Kick him inside. I think you're straight, bro.
Yeah, but you got Tyler Booker there to play inside. They need a right tackle. And nobody's really moving me on the board right now at this high. Cameron Williams is a player from Texas. I thought he had a good season at right tackle. It's just some movement issues with him. I think he needs to clean up. So I'm going to go on another position in need. I'm going to get a pass catcher, but not wide receiver, Mr. C. I'm going to go get you Mason Taylor from LSU, a tight end. I think this is a Noah Fant replacement here. And I just like how smooth he is, man. I think CPGM Drew was on him early. beginning of the last season as a tight end. And I liked what Arroyo did also from Miami at the Senior Bowl, more physical. But I think Mason Taylor's a better pass catcher, a better route runner. You put him with Metcalf and JSN. I think you got problems right there at the pass catcher position. I was looking at DT too, man. I like what Jaron Reed was doing for you guys. I'm not sure if you're going to keep him, but you got Leonard Williams there with the rookie, was it from Texas? Byron Murphy there and Jaron Reed. I was looking there also, but Mason Taylor's a guy that's grown on me, especially after his performance at the Senior Bowl.
All right. You're on the clock here, Drew. Broncos. Colson Loveland in the first round. I think that was a Headley pick. What do you do here in round 2? You're on mute, by the way.
Talking, y'all boys can't hear me?
Yeah.
That was a Headley pick. Hold up for a second. I'm going to straighten this up. All right. Denver. We got Colson. I think Headley talked about running. You talked about running back, I think, earlier as well. For these boys, get later. So go and get me a receiver. I already know what receiver I would grab for these guys. I think I'm gonna go running back, bro. Would this be the third running back off the board?
It would be.
It would be. All right. And people gonna be mad, bro. I don't know if I want to do it. Boys might be mad. Boys, let me check something real quick. Hold on, let me look at something real quick. I pulled it down, so hold on.
You know, Mrs. Brasky, I wouldn't necessarily have gone Taylor there, but I do think, you know, you've mentioned it, right? As far as like, you know, Noah Fant and what he does or doesn't do in line. I think it's a position that Seattle's going to go back to. How early they do is kind of the question mark, but I don't know that Barner is we talked about it, right? The utility of the tight end position and all of the responsibilities tight ends have. That's why teams carry 4 tight ends typically, right? I think Seattle's going to go back to the well. Just a question of how soon, how early in the draft they will.
All right, I'm going to go receiver.
Okay.
And just looking at it, you got Cortland Sutton. You got Marvin Mims. All right, let's go. I don't want to. Can I do it? I'm gonna do it, bro. Can I get a Tez Johnson?
Ooh.
What is Tez Johnson?
You're going back to the Oregon pipeline now?
We're going back to the Oregon pipeline. We're gonna want that connection between him and Bo Nix. And this is Tez 2.0, bro. You know what I'm saying? 1.0 was with Bo Nix at Oregon, and now we get 2.0 Tez. He showed up and showed out at the Senior Bowl. He was uncoverable. He was what's your boy from the Texas? I forgot his name. Got hurt. Man.
Tank Dell.
Tank Dell, yeah, he was the Tank Dell at the Senior Bowl this time around. We always talk about who's going to be that guy, and he was that guy. So, Tez Johnson, Oregon, lock it up at 51.
All right, I got the Steelers. So you went with your guy, receiver 2, Matthew Golden, and the first. Let's see what we're gonna do here. We got to be better offensive. We got to score some points. I know Cam Hayward's getting longer in the tooth. You want to get the replacement there, but I think the Steelers have done a pretty good job of addressing their front 7 over the last several drafts, free agency. The moves they made this past season in terms of really solidifying the secondary helped quite a bit. Although, again, you can never enough defensive backs, but we got to score points. So you started with Matthew Golden. Is Najee should be coming to the end, right? Did he get his 5th year picked up? I'm not sure. Freiermuth's been injured. You know what? Give me this guy, bro. You talk about what Matthew Golden can do for your offense. I think Elijah Arroyo, assuming he stays healthy, is a problem, bro. I think he's a problem. The big question I had for him going into Mobile was, is he just a straight line speed guy? Because while those guys can be effective in certain instances, they lack consistency. And what I saw from Elijah Arroyo in person was the ability to actually create separation at the top of his route. I think at times he might get a little too, indecisive in terms of when he wants to break things off at the top of his route, right? You can't, those are precious seconds, right, for the quarterback. But Alex is saying we got tight ends. So you got Freiermuth, like I said, he's dealt with some injuries, been a little inconsistent as of late. What's my guy's name from Georgia? The
Darnell Washington.
Darnell. But I'm gonna go back to what I said. I'm gonna go back to what I said about the utility of these tight ends. I think teams carry 3-4 guys because of all the ways that they're deployed. And I think there's no question about who would be the most explosive, the best offensive weapon in the offense among those three names. So I'm going to stick to my guns here, Alex. I apologize. I'm going to go with Elijah Arroyo here to Pittsburgh.
Well, it's hurt, bro.
Sometimes it hurts, bro. Sometimes it hurts.
Yo.
Yeah, I made Mr. C mad two straight mocks, man. Hey, man, sometimes
that's what you do.
That's how it goes.
That's what you do.
I got you next time, Mr. C. Don't worry, man. So we got Will Johnson. Wow, Will Johnson fell all the way to 19 to the Buccaneers. That might be the steal of the draft right there, Drew.
Yeah.
That's your Will Johnson. How's Chris Godwin looking, man? He be back,
fine, bro.
He be all right?
Yeah, he gonna be fine, bro. I know what you about to do, though.
I was about to do it. I just had to ask about him. Y'all need another edge rusher as well.
You need edge, yes. Edge, linebacker, and corner. Those are the top three.
Yeah, I know the corner is there already. I was looking at the linebackers. Might be a little too early. I like guys like Chris Paul Jr. later. I like guys like Jay Higgins, Jeffrey Bossa. I think Bossa is a guy that's moving up the class, but I'm gonna go edge here. And this is a guy. Like I said earlier, man. I just love what Kyle Kennard brought to that South Carolina pass rushing. He came up big in big moments. Just could get around the edge, and he beat your boy Will Campbell, a first-round pick, a couple times. So let me go get you Kyle Kennard right there, edge rusher from South Carolina.
I like it. I think it's a good fit. I don't know. What say you, Drew, on that one? Do you like a JT a little bit more? I know you're okay with Kennard over Landon Jackson at this point. So what's the thought process there?
Yeah, I probably would have taken Kennard over JT. I'm just not, he don't have what we need, bro. He ain't got the juice coming off the edge. So nah. Yeah, there's probably a couple guys I would have went over JT, man. People probably think I'm crazy, bro, but yeah, JT down for me, man. He down for me.
He's a solid player. I think he'd be like a rotational guy. Helps in the run game, crashes down really well. But you want that juice off the edge, that double-digit sack production. He's not that.
Yeah.
He's 4.5, 5 sacks, physical in the run. And I think he's a good player. He's a really good player. I think he's a day 2 prospect.
Smart player too.
This is the way I view it. This is the way I view it, right? So obviously he was a very, highly touted prospect coming out of high school, 5-star guy. If you disappear, and don't get me wrong, like there's some big time flashes. We talk about the matchups against Penn State, and he seemingly took those games over throughout his career a couple of times. But we also joke that you play other opponents other than Penn State. And while I think he finished this past season strong, right? He went back to school. Obviously, the idea was to play for a championship. Ohio State, they get the job done. He finished strong. When you're playing on a line with Tyleek and Sawyer and Hamilton, and then the guys the year before in terms of Mike Hall and so on and so forth, like you get a ton of one-on-one opportunities. You gotta be better, bro. We're expecting more from you, and it just did not materialize on a consistent enough basis, and that's the reason why I think we've pushed him down. I think we've always had him a little bit lower than the consensus, and he remains there. He remains there because he just did not maximize the opportunities that he had. That being said, Drew, my mock draft crashed, Radio Shack. So you are up. You are up.
Radio Shack. This is going in, man.
Hey, man. Hey man, what can I say?
Just give it
What can I
time, Mr.
say?
C. Give it time, man. It's gonna materialize.
All right, man. We got the Green Bay Packers. We went. I think did I make this pick? I think I made this pick. Did I make this pick?
I
No,
made that pick.
Hadley made the Trey
You
Harris
made a pick. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Trey
I
Harris.
was also looking at corner too.
Yeah, he was looking at, and that's what I'm looking at right now. Yeah. And I think I'm gonna go with Maxwell Hairston.
Love it.
I think there's a couple of guys a little too low on here, like a Kobe Bryant and a Quincy Riley. There's a couple more guys for just a couple of juices guys there too. But yeah, we're gonna go get Hairston, who is physical, likes to be up, in the face of the wide receiver, plays nickel outside boundary. Noticed him first when watching Georgia. I don't even think I was looking for him. He just kind of kept showing up over and over. I think it was during our film session as well. So yeah, man. I like him a lot. And again, we don't know what's going to happen with Jari Alexander. So I think this is the replacement for him.
I like it. If you go receiver in the first, which again, kind of is a departure from what Green Bay typically does. I have no problem with Trey Harris. I think again, we're probably higher than the consensus on Trey Harris, and then you follow that up with a Hairston, right? Because corner is a big need. I think the Packers will ultimately go corner. They will prioritize the corner, and then they will come back to the receiver position. But two really good players there to Green Bay.
And that was my thought process a little bit with Green Bay, that the cornerback position is deeper, especially the second round. I think second round corners are going to fly off the board. And
it's a sweet spot.
Yeah. Hairston mixed up with like Trey Harris, like you said. I like that connection. I like that combination for the Packers.
It is a bit of a sweet spot. All right. So we got the Chargers on the board, or on the clock, I should say. I went with Luther Burden in the first round, right? Here's my thought process. I'm just going to reiterate it before I move on. Justin Herbert drops back too frequently, and this past season, it's kind of been Ladd McConkey or bust when they played the better teams, right? Quinn Johnson made some plays, Joshua Palmer made some plays, but when it came down to it, when it came down to crunch time, Ladd McConkey was the only guy that he could depend on consistently. So I wanted to add Burden. To the mix. I think he's a dynamic playmaker, particularly with the ball in his hands. I did too, Papa. I did. Let's take a look at the O-line. What you got, Drew?
I forgot, bro. I got the controls,
yes,
bro.
You do.
My bad.
Yes, you do. You do. And then offensive tackle. Original. I don't love it. Edge. Landon. David Walker. Okay. D-line. Interior D-line. You know what, bro? I'm gonna upset Tupapa some more. I'm gonna upset him some more. It's not personal. It's nothing personal. I'm just looking at this board, and but before I make this decision, one more thing, Drew. Check corner for me. Let me see. Quarter strong. I think I can get my corner or go to the offensive line in the third. Give me that Alexander guy out of Toledo.
Alexander guy.
He's a sneaky round one guy.
Yeah, that is a sneaky round one. I like it. I like that, bro. Like that.
Yeah, let me know what you think of that one, Alex and Tupapa. What do you think about Darius Alexander in the second?
So Bills on the clock. We got James Pierce. I wasn't sure who was the first round pick for the Bills because Edge was on my list. And we got James Pierce Jr. Also, I think they can use another corner. I know some of these young guys, played well for them. So I'm looking at a guy right there. And then I think the wide receiver position, I think we could improve upon that also. Jaden Higgins is still on the board. I like Jaden Higgins. I think he's a second round guy. Just the big physical could route run, the release was there, everything. He showed everything at the Senior Bowl, man, the complete package. But you know what? I'm gonna go to the defensive side of the ball, man. And I'm gonna go get one of my guys. And this is another guy that balled out at the Senior Bowl. I love what I said. Pick it's Quincy Riley before I talk about him. Quincy Riley Jr. From Louisville. When I watched Brownlee play last season, man, I was looking at Quincy Riley, and I thought he was gonna be one of those big draft risers. He put on some weight this upcoming season, and he kind of got slept on. No one was really talking about him, and then he went to the Senior Bowl and he dominated those reps. And he's a guy that can play inside, outside. He can do it all over the football field. And he's a guy that traveled as well. We talked about Benjamin Morrison traveling last season for Notre Dame. I saw Quincy Riley do the same thing. First and second downs, he was on the boundary. Third down, he came inside to guard the slot receiver. So this is a guy that's moving the board for me. So I'll get Quincy Riley for the Bills.
All right, man. I almost said North Carolina. The Carolina Panthers first round pick, we went and got Josh Simmons, or Headley went and got Josh Simmons, saying that's the best tackle in this here draft. We want to make sure we protect our quarterback and Bryce Young, who's on the uptick, but I also want to go out here and get him a number 1 receiver. And it's 3 guys in mind for me right now. Thinking Ellick. I'm not even gonna try to say it. Y'all hit me in the comment section with the phonetic. I'm also thinking Jalen Royals, and a guy who is probably the second best receiver. I know maybe you can argue it maybe with versus Jalen Royals, but was Jack Besh from TCU, formerly of LSU. Some people are saying that's the new Cooper Kupp, is what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? So. But we need a sure thing. We need a guy who's going to be where he's supposed to be. You have XL over there, Xavier Legette, who's still kind of still trying to work some things out, still trying to get comfortable at the receiver position in the NFL. And then you have obviously Adam Thielen over there, who's that's kind of Bryce Young's go-to guy. But we need another go-to guy. We need another sure thing, if you will. But they need a true number 1 though, man. I don't know if I think Besh is probably a top tier 2 threat. Jalen Royals, I like him a lot, but I think I'm gonna go with Ellick. Yeah, we're going Ellick. We going Canada here, bro. We're going Canada here, man. We're going with the red leaf, bro, with the white in the background. That's what we're going with, man.
Yo, they killing us on these tight end picks, man. First with Mason Taylor, Mr. C. Alex is now talking about Royal. But what they got to understand is tight end is a deep class, bro. And tight ends are going to go early. They're going to fly off this board, man. And, some teams might not like it. I mean, some fans might not like it. But I think a Royal and Mason Taylor are going to be second-round picks.
Besh is a good player. Besh. He's a very good player. And I think he really cemented, or rather, he bolstered his stock with his performance in Mobile. I think he can continue to build on that throughout the pre-draft process. But yeah, seeing him in person, obviously you watch the film and you're like, okay, this is a good player. This is kind of, get his opportunity and he's made the most of it. And then you see how he handled things. And as much as we talk about Tez Johnson's performance at the Senior Bowl, I think Besh was right there with him. You know what I'm saying? The one-on-ones are kind of made for that type of player, as Tez Johnson, we mentioned Tank Dell a couple of years ago. But, whether it be 7-on-7, 11-on-11, one-on-one, Besh killed it, man. He did a great job. All right. I'm on the clock. I'm trying to catch back up. I've restarted my mock drafts. I'm trying to catch back up off of memory. You got Houston, Kelvin Banks. Let's see, Drew.
Memory, bro. Go in the comment section. I got all the picks in there. What's wrong with you, bro?
Oh yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, bro. I don't know what I was thinking.
Get your life together, bro. Come on.
Get my life together. All right. What's that receiving situation look like? All right, so you got Nick Collins, right? But Tank Dell's dealing with a significant injury, won't be ready. Is Diggs part of the plans in 2025? Is that the assumption? He's the guy. This is another team who could use a tight end. Another team that could be in that market. Let's see. Why are you shaking your head? Don't shake your head.
Because boys going back to the well, bro. Going back to the well.
All right, click on all for me. Let me see the all. Let me see the all.
Yeah, who's falling? Milrow still on the board? I thought we picked them. No, no, you picked Jackson Dart. Okay. Milrow on the board.
You know what? Give me my guy, man. Give me Jalen Royals, man. Call it a day.
Yeah,
Give me my guy. Stop playing. Stop half-stepping. Be more.
Be more. Got Princely there. Edge rusher. I think another big need for Baltimore is the cornerback position. They try to bring in Tre'Davious White, but he's a shell of his former self. I like the play of Marlon Humphrey. Had a big bounce back season. You drafted Nate Wiggins last season, so I think a third corner. Brandon Stevens was getting attacked a little bit, especially late in the season. And then I'm looking at wide receiver. I'm always a fan of giving Lamar Jackson another receiving option. You got Zay Flowers on the inside. He does his thing, but he needs help. He should have won MVP 3 years in a row, so he might not need the help. And we could go cornerback position. My corner probably here would be, you got your boy Jabbar. You know how we love Jabbar Muhammad from Oregon. The size control. I mean, the size issue. I think that's a factor for teams. But I'm gonna go Jaden Higgins. I'm gonna go Jaden Higgins from Iowa State. I like what he did at the Senior Bowl. He has a size. Zay Flowers is a smaller guy, so we get the size on the outside, a good release, good route combinations, can catch the football. And let's help Lamar Jackson here.
Let's help Lamar. More weapons for Lamar. Let's do it.
Yeah, we got to get past the Chiefs and the Bills, man.
Yeah.
The Chiefs and the Bills.
They need to run the damn ball. Run the football might help.
Even let Lamar run the football. I was surprised how they didn't let Lamar loose in that game.
The last 2 seasons, bro. The last 2 seasons.
All right, man. Next up, we got the Detroit Lions. We went edge. We understand that is a need for these guys. And Juice said they can unlock Mikael Williams, man. They can unlock him. So it's a wait and see. But I probably would agree with you, Juice, in terms of them being able to unlock him. And he don't have to come in and be the hero right away. So I like that pick. I'm trying to figure out where I want to go here, man. Jonah's still on the board. Let's see, best player. He's best player available along with Sacco out there. Bond. This team's like ready to go, bro. They just gotta stay healthy. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get Shamar Turner, bro. That's what I'm gonna do, bro. Going back to the defensive line.
Absolutely, Alex. Here, Papa. I mean, absolutely. At the end of the day, and I think we give Harbaugh a pass because he's had so much success, consistent success over the years, but it's definitely been coaching the last couple of seasons. Definitely been coaching.
Who you got Shamar Turner going to, Drew?
Oh, my bad. Detroit.
Okay. I'm surprised. Ain't your boy Norman Lott still on the board?
Yes.
Omar, I'm surprised he didn't go, or TJ Sanders.
Yeah.
No, I like Shamar Turner, but I thought you was an Omar Norman Lott guy, man. I might have to claim it for you, man.
You can. I like to do something a little different every time, bro. You know what I mean? I don't want to grab the same play every time, bro.
Gotcha.
Trying to mix it up.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, man. I'm gonna go with a guy that I identified in season. I had a strong showing in the Shrine game. In the practices. I think he's going to be definite draft riser. Before I go there, hold on. Let me just do my due diligence.
Yeah, do your due deep
before I make that decision. We got a pick coming up 79, so maybe I could wait. James Pierce in the first round. Is that Jack Besh guy that we were talking about?
Pierce? That's Jack Sawyer. Talking about for Washington.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I got Pierce. So when I was trying to do it, I mixed it up. I took Pierce instead of Sawyer. I got them flip
Gotcha.
flops. So Jack Sawyer. They went edge in the first last time around. Should we? What we got? We got Jonah still out there. Do we add him to the mix, bolster things, or do we go get that receiver? You know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go big fish hunting here. All right. I'm gonna do a little high risk, high reward move here. Give me Savion Williams,
Yeah, that's
Washington.
where he was going, bro.
I'm
I
gonna
ain't
take a
mad at
risk. I got this really impressive young QB. You know what I'm saying? I like what they got out of Diami Brown on top of what McLaurin has done with an actual legitimate quarterback. I'm gonna roll the dice on Savion Williams here.
Well, back on the clock with the Bills. We got Pierce Jr. for the Bills there, and then Quincy Riley. So the next biggest need I thought for the Bills was let's add a wide receiver. I know we tried to make a trade for Amari Cooper midseason. It didn't look like the connection was there. Keon Coleman's the big body receiver. Khalil Shakur, one of the guys that I love. He's on the inside, but you know what? I'm gonna go here with a big play, speed wide receiver, Isaiah Bond from Texas. I know somebody just mentioned in the chat going to see more tape on Bond. It's just the concentration skills, catching the ball with contact coming in, also just the hands. So I think that's what's missing from Bonds. But he's one of those fast players on the outside. Inside doesn't really matter. That Josh Allen, they can stretch the field and open everything up for Kincaid, Shakur, and Keon Coleman.
All right. I like it. I mean, we were expecting great things from Isaiah Bond, and apparently he took the back seat to Golden. But hopefully here with Josh Allen and his ability, you could really tap into what is impressive skill set. You know what I'm saying? We see more consistency out of Isaiah Bond. Philly, Drew.
I'm gonna do what we did last time with Philly, man. We'll get Cameron Williams from Texas, bro. And
Okay, I like it.
fit
Let
him in where he can
Stoutland,
get in.
yeah,
Yeah.
let Stoutland coach him up. Let Stoutland coach him up. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. That takes us to Kansas City. So this is the final pick in the second round. Connerly in the first. Edge, D line. I'm looking at it on my end. Corner. I'm hearing Kelsey's coming back for another season, regardless of the outcome of Sunday's game.
Of course. Of course.
Went Connerly.
You got two pop up. Yeah, I see. I'm the Falcons fan. Isaiah Nair. Okay, yeah, I like what he did at Nebraska, right? With Raoli. He was the guy over there. He was a big time guy coming in, right, Drew? Nair.
So he went from Wyoming to Texas, but he got. I think he tore his ACL or something at Texas, so he never got to play. And he transferred.
You know what? I'm gonna go get our guy, bro. We're gonna go back to Oregon one more time, one more again. Give me Jabbar Muhammad. Jabbar Muhammad.
I'm mad at it. I like it.
The question is going to be, is he going to play with the requisite physicality that they require of you in that secondary? But I think Muhammad's up to the task. So I'll take Jabbar there. G-Men.
Okay, I'm the Giants, huh? First pick, we got Shador, and then big Dion Walker. Let's pull it up real quick. I thought I was a Chiefs for a second. I'm kind of behind on my mock draft as well. I'm trying to keep up with y'all boys.
Get your life together, bro.
Yeah, I got to get it together. Dion Walker. That right tackle position. That's still a position in need here for the New York Giants. We could add another a wide receiver for Shador as well. Let's see the receivers out there. You got Jalen Noel.
Think corner is a need too. Corner is a need too.
Yeah, I like what Noah Williams did in the Shrine game. That's a good name right there. The corner from Cal. So we got Walker. What I say? I said wide receiver. And what else? I said right tackle. Let me see the tackles. Yep. We already got Cam Williams. Yeah, Yeah, I'm gonna go corner. I just think he out of all the positions, I think Noah Williams might be the best player left in those positions. So I'm gonna go get the physical outside corner. He could come up and tackle. He could play the ball on the boundary as well. So we're pairing with Deontay Banks. That's the guy. That's the guy they drafted him early last season or a couple seasons ago. So let's see if we can get something with Noah Williams and Deontay Banks.
I like that pick a lot. In fact, that was where my decision came down to between Muhammad and Noah Williams with that KC pick. I think they're the best two corners on the board. And some might argue Noah Williams is a better fit for what Kansas City wants to do defensively. So I like that pick a lot. Plus ball skills, as Drew types.
Oh man.
Boys is bashing them keys, boy.
Bro, it's the keyboard, bro. It's not me. It's the keyboard, bro. It's the keyboard.
Mm.
All right. We got KC back on the board. So we got Josh Connerly Jr. in the first. Rich get richer.
Papa, we don't concern ourselves with these grades. We don't concern ourselves with that.
The boys off, man. The boys
we
off.
ignore that. Unless it's an A+, we ignore it. We ignore
it. They gotta catch up. That's all.
Yeah.
And we take credit, man. All right. So this is the team that's going to lose Trey Smith. Am I correct?
In all likelihood, yes. In all likelihood.
Okay, then. So again,
Jonah?
the rich get richer.
Jonah.
I don't even know how to say his last name.
Savanea.
Savanea falls
I believe so.
right to him, bro. So here for the Kansas City Chiefs at 66, bro. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
All right. Cleveland on the clock here. Third round, 2025 NFL mock draft. 3-round mock draft. Abdul Carter. Drew went Jackson Dart at the top of the second round to get his quarterback of the future. What do I want to do? What should I do? I think corner would have been in the conversation, considering there may be some significant changes on Cleveland's defense because guys want to go somewhere to win. Running back. What was once a top 3 backfield for an extended period of time, especially when they had Chubb and Kareem Hunt. That seems to be coming to an end. You guys know how I feel about Jerome Ford, but I think we need a guy. I think we need a guy in this backfield, and I'm gonna go. Do we go with our Ohio guy? Keep a guy in state, or do we go get Caleb Johnson? You know what? Let me go with the size speed combo there with Caleb Johnson. I'll take him. You could certainly make an argument for either Henderson and Judkins as well, but I'll lean on Caleb Johnson this time around.
All right, we to the Raiders, and it's funny, man. It's funny how this draft works. And right before you said running back, I'm looking at running back for the Las Vegas Raiders, and I'm looking at the same 2 running backs you just mentioned, and Caleb Johnson, Travion Henderson. So you made my pick easier because you picked who you picked? Caleb Johnson.
I picked Hampton for them in the second, though, bro.
Oh. See, you threw me off. You threw me off, man. You threw me off right there, man. T-Mac Hampton. There we go. Yeah, my mock draft's similar to Crash, man. So I'm working off the board on the screen now. So we got T-Mac, we got Hampton. I thought you went quarterback for some reason, bro. You talking about quarterback with these boys?
I did talk about it, but now's as good a time as any. Now's as good a time as any, bro.
Let's hit the quarterback position, man, and let's go get Jalen Milroe. This is a guy that's going to be debated as, okay, who is he, man? Like, the tape shows that he's inconsistent as a passer, especially intermediate to short decision making. But the tape also shows that he has a beautiful deep ball. You got to put him in shotgun. Keep him in shotgun. I know they tried the under center thing with him. Didn't look comfortable there at the Senior Bowl, but the legs is a weapon. It's a weapon, man. He's one of the best running quarterbacks I've seen in a while. Even better than Caleb. Even better than Caleb and Jaden, man, because when he takes off, man, he's like a running back out there. He's cutting up on guys, and I think the ceiling is really high. He's my QB3 coming into the Senior Bowl. I'll admit he's going to be falling down a little bit, but I still like the potential. I still like the talent there. So maybe we bring in like a stopgap quarterback to go along with him. Kirk Cousins might be available, and then we bring him along to be the future of this Raiders quarterback room.
got to have a plan, right? And I think you laid it out there. You need a veteran who has, had some success, right? Take advantage of that young talent that you've taken at the top of this draft. Make sure that you're competitive out there. You know what I mean? But you want to give Milroe an opportunity to get seasoned. We all agreed that he should have remained in college. I think his performance in Mobile certainly substantiated that he could have benefited from another year in college. But as he enters the draft, he's got tools. He's got tools. He's clearly got the legs. He's got the big arm. He can push the football down the field. It's the final points of the position that he needs to work on. And if you can give him a year or two to kind of get acclimated and understand how to prepare and work on the finer parts, you might have something here, because he is talented. There's no question about that. Just a lot of work. Real raw prospect at this point. All right, Drew, got the Patriots up. Travis Hunter, Gray Zabel. I mean, two guys on the opposite end of the spectrums in terms of publicity, right? You know what I'm saying? Hunter being your Heisman Trophy winner. You got Zabel coming from FCS, but obviously working his way up the board. You got a couple picks here in the third round. What do you do, Drew? Well, first of all, you got to get off mute. First and foremost.
That's what I was asking. I was like, I'm on mute, but y'all boys can't hear me ask the question, so kind of defeats the purpose.
I thought Hadley might call an audible and go to Will Howard route on that Raiders pick, but he's sticking to his guns.
I was going to argue, bro, but you were so deep into the Milroe thing.
He's sticking to his guns.
Sticking with it. Sticking to
his guns, man.
I ain't mad at you, bro. I ain't mad at you. This is a team who needs a wide receiver, but then y'all boys got, you know what I'm saying? I think this is Juice got Travis Hunter, so it was like, we really go back to the well at the receiver position. I don't think it'll hurt, but
Two birds, one stone, right? 2 birds, 1 stone, man. I got it.
2 birds, 1 stone. So we don't have to press there, I guess. And in terms of the tackle position, is it left tackle they need or right tackle? Because that's going to make my decision for me in terms of what they're looking for in New England. Let me just pull them up.
Oh, Chad is mentioning edge. They like JT right here.
They like JT. Hey man, these tackles don't look good either, though, bro.
Let's protect the quarterback. Let's protect the quarterback. You got the young quarterback. You need to keep him upright. I'm with that. We all agree that offensive line is the most important position group, man. So
yeah, we're gonna go get Mr. C's favorite tackle, Emory Jones Jr., bro. So we're gonna lock in here, bro.
Okay,
lock him in.
Emory.
Yeah, so I say that gingerly, bro.
Gingerly, lightly.
We can figure it out. We can figure it out.
All right. So we got Duval on the clock. Jacksonville, Mason Graham in the first, followed by Siobhan Ravel in the second. I think obviously he's part of the first round conversation, assuming he doesn't get hurt. They too need to address the offensive line. And there's a guy, bro. There's a guy who just quietly has been one of the steadiest performers at the collegiate level. And then of course he punctuated it in Mobile. He got kind of overshadowed by Gray Zabel, but what I saw him do, not only at guard, which is what he played at LSU, but also tackle, right? They even moved Emory Jones inside and put this guy out to tackle, and he did work, man. He did work. He was excellent in the one-on-ones, 11 on 11, and had not given up a sack his entire career, or rather, he hadn't given up a pressure or something, some ridiculous stat that I'm misquoting right now. But in terms of efficiency, he was better than Emory Jones and Will Campbell at LSU, and that's going to be Miles Frazier, bro. I think they got him ranked entirely too low here. I think you can play him at tackle if you'd like to. His home probably will be guard, but I think he's capable of playing tackle at the NFL level. I got to tell you, after going back to the tape, I like him more than Emory Jones. I like him more than Emory Jones. So give me Miles Frazier.
Good pick there. All right. Let me check the board before I speak this time. We got Will Campbell and Kenneth Grant. So we got the tackle there. I was looking at that. So we shored it up. We could probably put Fuago back to right tackle if we like. Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle here next to Brzee. They could still improve this defensive line some more. Looking at edge rusher here on the board, and maybe quarterback. What do we think about Spencer Rattler? You know, we just talked about Will Howard still on the board. Do we give Spencer Rattler another chance?
No, you run it with Spencer, bro.
You like it with Spencer? Okay. Because he was a little shaky. He was a little rattled a little bit last season.
Come on, bro.
Spencer Rattler.
The boys need more receivers, bro. The boys need a true number one receiver.
Let me just check the edges real quick, Drew. Let me see who the edges is, man.
All right.
Landon Jackson, JT.
I can tell you who I like on this list, bro. I would take right now, bro.
Oh, Josiah, the fastball off the edge.
Nah, I would take David Walker right now.
David Walker, Central
Oh,
Arkansas.
Yeah. What we saw at the Senior Bowl as well.
Yeah.
Oladejo
was impressive too out of UCLA. He's a little further down on that west.
Yeah. Is he?
A lot of good edges. You know what?
I think JT fits though. I'm with Byron here. I think this is a good spot for JT.
That's where I was going, but with so many edges you guys just named, let me go get the quarterback. Let me go get some.
Let's set up done with Spencer.
There's some competition. We're gonna have some healthy competition in the room. We're gonna battle it out.
Ain't your boy on the roster?
Who?
Derek Carr's on the roster, bro.
Nah,
we have to inform the people too, Papa. We gotta inform the people about Oladejo. You know what I'm saying? We gotta inform the people.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait to get my edges. There's some more edges there, and we're gonna battle it out. We're gonna go get Will Howard here to compete with Spencer Rattler. Let the best man win. Derek Carr, he out of there.
Yeah, out of there.
This is sabotage, bro. I'm just gonna let you know straight at right.
Hey, it's the Saints, bro. Come on.
Falcons and Bucks fans sabotaging the Saints.
Nah, I ain't sabotaging. Don't put me in that.
Oh man, I gotta put you in that Susu too, bro.
No,
you NFC South guy, bro. So I gotta put you in it. Okay, last pick for the Bears here. Membo, Jackson, and Mono. I mean, those are three excellent selections thus far.
Yes, sir.
You know, we don't know what happened with Brisker, bro. Brisker had the concussion and he never got cleared, bro. I don't recall him getting cleared. I wonder if there's any Chicago fans tuning in, if they could correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know that he ever got cleared. He got a concussion I don't know, in October. And
does he play safety or nickel? What's his main?
I think he did a little of everything. But yeah, man, I that was tough because he was a key part of that defense, that young core, and not having him. I don't know what that means long term for him. Hopefully he gets healthy, but hard to argue with a Manowari. If you got a Manowari and Brisker on the back end, that's impressive. That's an impressive duo.
Yeah, that's solid. I agree with you. I'm looking at one position.
Had to do it, Alex. Had to do it. We got to score some points.
So now I don't think we need to go there. All right. So we're not doing that. All right. Let me get back. I was thinking edge, but they got Montez Sweat and DeMarcus. Almost said DeMarcus Walker. So I don't think I necessarily need to go. Oh, and the other position I wanted to take a peek at. We don't need to even go there, bro. They need to update their needs, bro. I think they're wrong with these needs, man.
You disagree with the needs?
Yeah, because I'm about to grab. I think D-line is correct, and I think we're gonna go. Do I want TJ Sanders or do I want Omen Norman Lott?
That's who I have in mind for them right here. One of those two.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give TJ
tonight.
You going with TJ?
I'm gonna give TJ tonight just because it ain't Norman Lott's fault. I think somebody had posted he played like 17 snaps a game. So is that Tennessee's doing? Is that him not being in shape type of thing? Gotta have that conversation. So we're gonna go with TJ Sanders from right now.
All right, TJ Sanders it is. Quite the haul for the Bears in this 3-round mock draft. It takes us to the Raiders. So Headley went Milrow. Got the quarterback. We got a young pair of offensive playmakers and Ted McMillan and Omarion Hampton. Do we just stay on the offensive side of the ball, or do we go and address his defense? Let's take a look at the defense. Oh, that's an interesting name. While it may not be the biggest of needs, I just think I'm gonna do it. You know what? Give me JT right here. Give me JT. I'm gonna solidify this defensive line rotation. Not sure what's gonna happen long term with Max Crosby, but I think JT on a defensive line with the likes of a Christian Wilkins, potentially Max Crosby, Tyree Wilson, I think what we're expecting or what we need to see, obviously, is him win those one-on-ones on a more consistent basis, right? But we do know that he's going to set a physical edge. He can be a good part of your rotation. I think that the 5 to 6 sack range is a reasonable expectation, and I think at this point in the draft, I think that's a value. So give me JT.
JT Tumalu. We went and got Josh Simmons, offensive tackle. We added a wide receiver next for the Carolina Panthers. I think front seven is a big need for Carolina. They had one of the most dominant front sevens a couple seasons ago. And then the last leg left with the trade of Brian Burns to the New York Giants. So I want the best front seven player on the board, and my boy's already gone. TJ Sanders is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look at edge real quick. Landon Jackson.
Take your boy, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Omar Norman Lott. Let's throw him on the defensive line next to Derek Brown. Let's get physical. Let's get back to the old Panthers defense, and let's cook there with Omar Norman Lott. Like you said, Drew, he played 17 snaps a game. He was underused at Tennessee, but we saw what he did, man. He was at the Senior Bowl, and even on tape, he just flashed. Number 55 was flashing all day for Tennessee.
Yeah, he's got that natural leverage. Looks like a pure 3 technique to me. Like you do some damage, especially next to Derek Brown, because Derek Brown's a monster, right? So again, we're talking about copious one-on-one opportunities. Let that quickness in the interior go to work. I like it. Carolina needs a lot of work on the defense. I know we prioritize the offense in this mock draft, but they have a lot of work to do on the defensive side of the ball. San Francisco, Drew.
So they're gonna have that Robert Saleh defense over there, and I think they play a healthy number of snaps between zone and man. They kind of mix it up over there. If it was more zone, I'd probably go with Denzel Burke here, a little bit more man. I think. Make sure I'm not forcing it here. I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Can't force it, bro. You feel me? Nice people. Some boys laying down. Let me see. Just see what it looks like here. You get Jalen Walker, the guy. All right, yeah, we're gonna go. I guess we'll go cornerback, and I'm gonna grab Darian Porter here from Iowa State.
I think it's good value here for Porter. I like it. All right, that puts Dallas on the clock here. We got
bro. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Your Cowboys are on the board, bro. Come on, bro.
Chill with that, bro. I will sport nothing Jerry Jones touches. Ashton Jeanty and Tyleik Williams, first couple of picks. That's a good start. That's definitely a good start to it. What do we do here in the third? It's our final pick of this mock draft. Do I want to mix it up a little bit? What's his name's getting longer in the tooth at edge. We need a receiver. We need to add some more weaponry to this offense. We had that run at tight end, although there's some names that I like on the board. Ferguson, Renningstool. I think it may be just a little early for those two guys. Give me. You know what? Give me Jack Besh, man. I'm gonna do it, bro. Give me Jack Besh. Add him to CD and company, man. They need more consistency outside of CD Lamb in the passing game. Right now, it just seems like it's just CD Lamb and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Tupac. I'm with that. Drafted GM. Absolutely. But I think, just and I mentioned it previously, while Besh is not a blazer, he does a great job of creating separation at the top of his route. Everything is under control. He catches everything. There's physicality in his game. There's nuance to his game in terms of, Drew had mentioned it during our recap, the late eyes, the late hands. He's a professional receiver. He's ready to go. He'd be a nice compliment to CD Lamb. So I like that pick there to Dallas. All right, Headley. Final pick for New England.
The Patriots. So we got Emery and Zabel to fix that offensive line.
Need that edge, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking at front seven. Honestly. I just need somebody with some juice on the front seven. I I also was looking at running back position. I think they could improve that running back room as well. But I'm gonna be responsible. I'm gonna go get somebody in the front seven. Looking for some juice. Uh, my guy
you got a couple
Josiah
guys.
Stewart's there. Josiah
Yeah,
Stewart probably has the most juice there, and also David Walker, physical football player. What linebackers do they have left on the board? It's just Carson from UCLA.
Everybody, bro.
Yeah,
Everybody,
Chris Paul.
Yeah, it's some good ones. I think they're gonna be getting picked here shortly.
Yeah,
some good ones.
This is the only position we've only picked one out of
one player. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go to the edge. Go to the edge, and I'm gonna go get Josiah Stewart. I just need some speed. I need some speed on this football team, especially in the front seven. Get after the quarterback. So I think Josiah Stewart got one of the best first steps in this class. Could close. He's a blur on the edge, man. So let me get him. That's true. That's true.
I like the thought.
But we need speed though, man.
I like you need explosiveness. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we started it with, and then we went to the trenches, right? And now you're trying to get back to guys who can, change the game with their speed, with their explosiveness. So I'm with it. Belton is available. Belton is available. Anthony had a good week.
I was saving him for somebody else, Dana, but guess what? You called it. So I'm going to go, you got it. We got him. He had a great week. He was one of those guys you didn't hear nothing. He's one of those, you didn't hear his name, but it was a good thing that you didn't hear his name, Anthony Belton. So go ahead and lock in Anthony Belton out there. Or you want a wide receiver with some speed, with height? We can take a look. Let's take a look.
Noel separates, with ease, but he's not really a size component there.
Nah. Ja'Cory Brooks is tall. I think he's like 6'3", if I'm not mistaken.
He's a bigger player.
Nick Nash as well.
Nash is more of a slot, though. He's a big slot.
More of a slot. Yeah. I think we can wait on it. I think we might be able to wait on it.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
Wait on it. All right, I'm gonna get you Belton right now. Let's take Belton, get him off the board.
Get him off the board. All right, I like it. Good pick there. 78th overall. Washington. We're betting on upside here, man. James Pierce in the first, Savion Williams in the second. Here we are in the third. We could definitely use a corner. This team certainly could use a corner. We could stand to improve the offensive line, although it's not one I love. Not at tackle anyway. I think there's a few guys that fit the bill for guard, but not necessarily tackle. Corners, Burke, Dorian Strong, Kobe Bryant's a little on the smaller side, but he's a good player. Look at my guy Upton Stout, man. Had a great week at the Senior Bowl. I see he's climbing the board here. I really like what I saw from Upton Stout in Mobile. You know what? I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it sexy. I'm gonna keep it sexy in Washington. Let's go to the running back position. And obviously you got the two guys here in terms of Travion Henderson, Quinshaw Judkins. I think they could use a little bit more explosiveness from the position. So I'll go with Henderson. I'll go with Henderson for the Commanders. I think him and Jaden Daniels in that backfield would be a nice 1-2 punch. Indy.
All right, we got Tyler Warren fill out that tight end room for Indianapolis. And then we came back with Xavier Watts, free safety on the back end. That's a good pick. Of the secondary need to help in Indianapolis. I think you could draft a Latu last season. You got Buckner as well. We could use another defensive tackle in there, man. Who we got a defensive tackle? Alfred Constant, Jordan Birch. Farmer had a good Senior Bowl.
Jordan Phillips turned heads. Jordan Phillips turned some heads. Yeah.
All right.
Let
me go back to edge. Let me see edge. I know we got Latu. We could pair him with someone as a recce. I like Ivy. Let's go get Jared Ivy here for the Colts because he's listed as edge, but he could also play inside.
Yeah.
He can get after the quarterback. So let me go get Ivy there to pair him with Buckner.
I think Ivan's best reps come in when he reduces down and he rushes from the interior. Yeah. He don't have the juice on the edge, right? He can set a physical edge. long, player. Those long levers obviously can control offensive linemen, but I don't think he has the ability to close on a consistent basis off the edge. But he's a different player when he's rushing from the interior. So he's a flexible piece up front. Solid pick. All right, Drew. Cincy. We prioritize the defensive line here to the first couple of picks. What do you do in the third round? Do you get that interior offensive lineman? You give Joe Burrow a pocket to step up into, or do you get somebody on the perimeter? What do you do here?
I think I'm gonna be responsible because you weren't responsible.
I wasn't.
We're gonna go get Marcus.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I was irresponsible, but I think the first pick was probably a little bit more irresponsible. I'll be honest with you, and I'm pretty sure you made that pick as well. So
no, that was me, bro. I got
that was you.
Scarleton,
Oh yeah, you got Scarleton. Yeah.
No, that was a responsible pick. That's greasiness. We need him.
Greasy with no gloves, bro. Man, I wear no gloves.
So we're going with Marcus Bow. Marcus Bow here.
Yeah, Marcus Bow. I was just scrolling down here. There's a couple of guys that were at the Senior Bowl: Clay Rogers, Jackson Slater, and Clay Webb. I think those guys should be a little bit higher, but in terms of their ranking, I don't know about in terms of here with all the other guys, some Georgia guys that kind of fell off the wagon, if you will.
All right, Marcus Bow it is. I think as far as position and need, it matches up. Didn't have as good of a Senior Bowl performance as we would have liked to see, but the tape is really good. So hopefully he can continue to kind of solidify his billing throughout the rest of the pre-draft process. Mr. C's Seahawks. All right, so Headley made the first two selections. Tyler Booker was acceptable. Mason Taylor.
No, that was Drew. Drew was Booker.
So it's you, Headley, making all the irresponsible picks. I thought you made both these picks.
Nah, Mason Taylor was a great pick also, man.
I don't hate it. I get Mr. C's thought process in terms of Barner and the team feeling like easy and coming and he's going to be the guy. So too soon for Mason Taylor, but I think he's going to force his way onto the field. For this last pick in this 3-round mock draft, I know Mr. C mentioned he wanted a defensive tackle. All right. But I don't know. Bro.
I like the defensive tackles there.
No, there's some defensive tackles. I just don't know if I want to pick one right now.
No, I'm saying I like the defensive tackles in Seattle. But
in Seattle. Seattle.
He knows the team more than me, though.
Yeah.
Maybe
Reed talk to me.
Back.
Talk to me. Is there a receiver? You know what? I know what Mr. C wants, man. I know what he wants. He wants someone, the anti-Kenneth Walker. That's what he wants. He wants an anti-Kenneth Walker. He wants somebody who's going to one cut, get downhill, do his thing. You know what I'm saying? And there's some names here that fit the bill. Although, and I think they may have figured it out, but Mr. C is not. He's not in the comments right now. So I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna be either responsible or irresponsible. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go with Carson Schweschinger, the second level of this defense here, solidified. I know they brought in Ernest Jones to help solidify things. They've been kind of a revolving door at the second level, but I think with Jones and Schweschinger now in place, they should be good at linebacker. All right, Pittsburgh.
The Steelers. Man, I wanted to go offense too. Y'all went offense with the first two picks with Matthew Golden, Elijah Arroyo.
Go ahead and get the quarterback. Get the quarterback. What you mean?
I wasn't going quarterback. Russell Wilson, they say he's no longer coming back. Justin Fields not coming back. I don't know if I'll target a quarterback here, man. I can't do the Quinn Ewers thing.
They said both of them are not coming back? What?
No, this is all speculation, man. I'm not sure what they're doing at the quarterback room in Pittsburgh. But I think they could use a running back. Najee Harris, I thought he looked better a little last season, but he's coming towards the end of his contract. Yeah, the offensive line was better. Maybe I'll just go defense since y'all went offense twice, man. So Steelers fans don't hate us too much.
Drew, put it on the Seahawks pick so Mrs. Brassy can lament.
They brought in Dante Jackson opposite Joey Porter. Don't hate that.
I think Mrs. C might be behind, bro. he behind?
Yeah, he's a little
He might be a
behind.
little behind. He might be a little behind. Yeah, Alex. I think. Frankly, I think they should have stuck with Fields. Period. They should have stuck with Fields. Figured out what they had there. You know what I'm saying? But if the plan is to go with Fields, I don't hate it. I just wish they would have stuck with him last year. Right? Really get a sense
They'd have been
because
better off
Russ is not the
this year.
future, bro. Russ is not the future.
All right, we're gonna put more weapons around Justin Fields, man. You added Matthew Golden at wide receiver. I love it. Elijah Roy at the tight end position. It's okay. It's okay. You got Freiermuth there, bro. I like what Freiermuth did for them boys. But I'm gonna go Quinshawn Judkins. We're running back from Ohio State. Physical football player. I think he's a perfect pairing with a Jalen Warren that could win out the backfield. And Najee Harris, man, hey, free agency, bro. We're going to have to figure something out, man, because we just replaced you right there, man. I love Quinshawn Judkins, physical running back. He's one of the best north side running backs in this class, and he fits the Steelers mold.
Helly said, man, we just replaced you, man.
Yeah, Dylan Sampson. I like Dylan Sampson too, Dylan, man. That's what you're talking about, a running back from Tennessee. I just love the edge that Judkins plays with, bro. I love his edge.
All right, so for the Bucks, I talked about it earlier in terms of Will Johnson, Kyle Kernard. I know receiver they say is a need. It's not necessarily a need. If Chris Godwin's coming back, it's not a need as far as I'm concerned. And word on the street is he's coming back. So to me, linebacker is the next need. And I'm gonna go with a guy who, when you turn the tape on, I know they had a lot of guys on that defense, but every time you turn the tape on, bro, this guy show up, bro, and it's Chris Ball Jr. every time, bro. You can't miss that dude. All over the field, man.
Yeah, Mississippi had a host of transfers on the defensive side of the ball. Literally every level of the defense, and they all were impact players. Amos, Paul, Nolan, all impact players that they brought in via the transfer portal. And Chris Paul is a guy that I think, I think the scouting community is fully aware of him at this point. But as you mentioned, Drew, he jumps off the tape. He's flying all over the place. He's always around the football. So I like that pick quite a bit there for the Bucks. We got Denver on the clock. So you went Colson Love and Tez Johnson, placing an emphasis on this offense. I think we're going to have some changes in the backfield. They're probably more responsible picks to be made, but I'm going to go get that man. He's a bad man too, bro. I'm going to go get him. Give me Damian Martinez, bro. Give me Damian Martinez,
like it.
man. I think the part of Martinez' game that really impressed me, we knew how physical he was, how decisive he was, the fact that he could actually make guys miss at his size too, but he showed some good long speed this year too. I think he was in that 21 mile per hour range, once he hit top speed as well. So, yeah, I like Martinez. I think Martinez is a handful to tackle, bro. Down in, down out. All right,
Yep.
got the Chargers.
So this is another team that needs a running back. Got my Martinez, so I'm probably go somewhere different there. You got Luther Burden in the first round and Darius Alexander. Let's go on the back end. For the Chargers. Let's add a corner. Let's add a corner to this room. Is my guy still there? My guy Kobe.
Yeah. He's there.
Yeah, let me go get Kobe Bryant from Kansas. Like you said, he's a little undersized, man, but he don't play it. He got heart. You know what I'm saying? He's physical. He'll come up the tackle as well. Yeah, he got heart. So I like him, man. We could put him in the nickel. We could throw him in the nickel for the Chargers.
He's a good player. He's very physical considering his size. I think he's like 174. But, he's what he lacks in just kind of, weight and height. He's got like 31-inch arms, though. He's got good length, you know what I'm saying, in terms of matching up and contesting the ball in the air. So,
dang, to pop a man straight bum? Come on, man. What you got against Kobe, man? Kobe with a C.
Kobe with a C.
That's the problem right there, bro. It's Kobe with a C. That's the problem right there. All right, I'm I was gonna say I'm gonna stop the slide of Landon Jackson.
Yeah.
But we're not stopping no slide of Landon Jackson.
Man.
We're gonna go ahead and get David Walker from Central Arkansas. Should be flying up the draft boards. I think once he goes to the combine and shows up, shows out, I think he's gonna fly up, bro. I think he's gonna jump a lot of guys.
All right, David Walker it is. I like it. Long arms okay.
Hey, sometimes the corner don't got to tackle, man. Sometimes the corner don't got to tackle. If you can locate football, go get football. You straight, man. You straight.
Oh man!
But you got to be that guy, though. You got to be that.
We call it business decisions over here, man. Make a little.
Yeah, you know what I mean,
we're trying to get paid.
I got money to make. You feel me?
All right, Jacksonville on the clock. Graham Chevelle, Miles Frazier. I wanted to show Miles Frazier some love. I think he's really impressive. Again, gets lost in the shuffle when you talk about Will Campbell and Emory Jones, his performance. Let's see.
Jake, I was going to go Uza Rookie.
I want to help this quarterback out.
That's where I was going to go, but then I didn't want these two other cats to be able to get David Walker, man. So I just took him off the board.
Playing a little defense, bro.
Yeah, I got to play a little defense sometimes.
Let's give me. They like, but they dislike their linebackers. You know what? Let me do something for the quarterback here. So we went with Miles Frazier the last pick. I'm going to go back to the offensive side of the ball. Give me Jalen Noel. Take Jalen Noel. Add him to that receiver room. They dealt with some injuries this past year. Love Brian Thomas, but Gabe Davis didn't do much of anything. Christian Kirk got hurt. I think Noel can actually fill that Christian Kirk role quite well. So Noel's the pick. Houston.
All right, Houston, man, got Kelvin Banks on the offensive line, Jalen Royals, the wide receiver. I think Houston can use another. I was gonna say tight end because Schultz is getting older, but I kind of like what Case Stover has been doing over there. And then you add Royals there, another pass catcher. They can use another running back. Joe Mixon's getting a little older. Pierce. What's going on with Pierce, Drew? Damon.
Y'all got to
give him opportunities.
Got to get some opportunities,
bro. What's his hating?
Got to get opportunities, bro.
Out of there, bro. Let me see the running back. These are the running backs: Neil, Sampson,
Harvey.
I'm gonna go defensive line. I'm gonna go defensive line on the interior, for Houston, and you got Birch. I know Farmer. We heard the Farmer talks over there, but is your boy still on the board for Louisville? I know he was a favorite of ours
he's at
early.
He's at edge.
Yeah, I like him on the inside. I like what he does. Yeah, Gelati from Louisville. I like what he does when he reduces down. Can rush out to the quarterback. He'll play the edge on rundowns as well, but on passing downs with Will Anderson and your other boy on the edge out there. Let's get somebody in the middle to meet him at the quarterback.
I like it.
I like it. Yeah, so do I. Good pick. Rams been quiet, Drew. They've had to wait. They made the 26th selection and then have to wait to the 90th pick. Abuka in the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me grab, because this is the team I was actually going to use Anthony Belton on, but things happen. You got your boy Jalen Rivers down here, bro. What you saying, bro? You good?
Guard. If you feel good, a power scheme guard. I like it.
You're right.
I like it. I don't know if he'd be a great fit for this team. I'm not sure if
No. He wouldn't. He wouldn't. Them feet like cement, bro.
Yeah, they're a little heavy. A little heavy. St. Dragon says Chase Lunt. Chase Lunt there if you want to.
Chase Lunt?
Haven't seen long time Ram there. Haven't seen that right tackle.
So I was thinking Johnny Cornelius.
Okay.
I think he would fit the scheme a little bit better than Lunt. But you know what? You said Lunt. Let's go Lunt, man. Let's be different. Lunt. Chase Lunt, man.
Different.
Do it. Yeah, man.
All right. Be more on the clock. Drew went with Princely in the first. Headley followed that up with the Jaden Higgins in the second. What does that mean I do? Let's see here. What did you guys think of Trent Simpson's performance this year? First year as a starter, replacing Patrick Queen. What do you think about his performance?
I liked
Yeah, I
him.
didn't watch. I didn't
I
watch
liked him
Baltimore.
when he came in. He's a rookie. He's still learning the position,
Or young
but learning the
player.
speed. Yeah, learning the speed of the game as well. But I think he's going to be a solid pro, man. So I wouldn't move off of him just yet.
Okay. All right, no problem. I'm gonna give a guy that I thought was tremendous in Mobile. I want to give him some love. Folks may think it's a reach, but that's why we mock drafted. Give me Upton Stout, man. Give me Upton Stout at corner for Baltimore, man. Brandon Stevens had a rough season. He had a rough season. I think Upton Stout is very polished as a corner, sticky coverage. I like him. I like him in this Ravens defense.
I don't think that's a reach, bro. Part
Some
of it
people
is
will. I think some people will feel that
well,
it's
they didn't
reach.
go to the
But,
Senior Bowl, bro. Okay, that's what you tell them, bro.
yeah, my first exposure was the Senior Bowl, and then I went back and watched the tape, and I was like, yeah, this all checks out. This is not an aberration. So I like him a bit. Reach, but a good reach. I'll take it, Dylan. I'll take it.
Got a good reach right there.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Malachi Starks pick early. Like you said, the safety position gets disrespected sometimes, and Malachi, I'm looking at a lot of boards, and he's way further down than he's supposed to be. He's a top 10 guy in this class. He could push a top 5 as well.
They overthinking it with him, man. I don't
think
get
so
it.
too.
I don't get it.
And then the second pick we got Harold Fannin Jr. Drew ran up to the podium there. The tight end position is a big need for these guys. Aaron Rodgers, man, what we saying, man? Like, what's the quarterback situation looking like? Here you got Gabriel, Ewers, Leonard. You know what I'm gonna do, man? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, man. It's been a lot of talk. The transfer from Ohio State played really good at Syracuse this last season. I'm gonna go get Kyle McCord as the heir apparent for Aaron Rodgers. Good arm right there. I just got a better arm than Ewers and Dylan Gabriel at this point. Those guys are, what they used to call them, Chad Pennington's arm back in the days, man. It was
slingshot.
A little noodleish. Now it was a little noodleish. I think Kyle McCord has an NFL arm.
Oh, definitely. I like it at this point in the draft. I really do. I think he's going to end up getting pushed further up the board just because, teams are thirsty for the QB, right? But I think at this point it's excellent value for Kyle McCord. Different player, Ohio State and then going on to Syracuse, getting the coach and Fran Duffy, whatever the case may be, they really rebuilt his confidence. Looked like a different player this year. All right, Drew. Your Saints. You were selecting for your Saints.
I'm going to grab Donovan Uzuruki. That's who you're grabbing here. Izaraku. Mm-hmm. I thought I had it right, bro. I said it with confidence too, bro. Mm-hmm. Or should I go get Olu the No, let me stop. I'm gonna get Donovan.
I like Izaraku here. Yeah. Didn't have as impressive of a Senior Bowl as some other edges that are still on the board, but you look at the totality of the film. Yeah, he flashed a little bit, just wasn't consistent. But you look at the totality of the film, and it's hard to argue with him, especially at this point. Another good pick there. All right, final pick here for the Browns. We got Abdul Carter, Jackson Dart, Caleb Johnson. Through the first few selections. All right, what do we do here? Poor Landon Jackson out there. Do we put somebody next to JOK?
We can.
We could do that. I think this team has just struggled to field a healthy O-line as well, right? They just that their top five, their five is always seems to being in flux. So I think I'm going to add a guy that I like quite a bit, more than the consensus. There may be some bias. I'm not going to deny it. There's some bias there, but
Jalen Rivers,
he played tackle. He played tackle and he played guard, and at times he was playing both positions from one possession to the next. Right, so they're rotating in two other players, and he's the one constant on the field. I think he, at the NFL level, he needs to play guard, but he can play tackle if you need be. Again, trying to make sure that you have some continuity up front. Give me Jalen Rivers here to Cleveland.
All right, got the Eagles on the clock. Got Jahad Campbell, pick 33 or 31, and then we got the right tackle. Is that the right tackle from Texas, Cameron Williams? the offensive line. And man, I want to talk about Mekhi Becton, man, because it's crazy, bro. Like how he
Scotland, bro.
played tackle and then he switched inside. There's so many cases like this where you just got to put him inside the guard and he's just a lot better guard. I think the Panthers have a guy out there that could go to guard and be a lot better guard than Icky. And we see it all the time, man. So he's cleaning things out next to Lane Johnson on the right side. But Cameron Williams also could be a depth piece there as well. And let's go edge. Let's go edge with these boys. I know you got Nolan Smith and Josh Sweat, but Brandon Graham can't play forever. Jalen Carter is a stud. And the slide. You want to start the slide right here? You got Savion Jones,
I think it's
APR,
time to
Tyler
start.
Barron. Yeah, let's
I
start
think
the
it's time to
slide right
start.
here, man. And the Eagles, they develop these guys better than anybody. They develop just players in period better than anybody alongside in the trenches. So let's go get Landon Jackson from Arkansas. And the reason for the slide is just not enough juice off the edge for me. And then when you reduce him down inside, I don't think he's as powerful there. He's kind of like a tweener type player, but I think the Eagles can figure out a way to get some production from him and be a rotation on his defensive line.
Yeah, I like Savion Jones too, but I think one of the biggest issues, you kind of said it, Headley, but it's he doesn't have there's no secondary move. Hey, if this fails, what's next? It's just I'm doing this one thing and hopefully it works. And sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. At the Senior Bowl, it was bad. It was bad, bro. So
yeah, I think this is a great landing spot for a number of reasons, and Helly mentioned a couple of them. One being that this team has a penchant for developing their players, and secondly, he's not going to be thrust into heavy responsibility out the gate, right? He's got good veteran presence. He's got a good mixture of veteran and young players. Nolan Smith, obviously, he's ascending, right? But even as a first-round selection, Nolan Smith wasn't asked to come in and light the world on fire. They drafted your boy, I forget what's the very small school, played at the Senior Bowl last year, Jalex Hunt. They drafted him last year. So he's a guy that's going to be kind of taking on more responsibility, I would assume, moving forward as his body fills out and gets stronger. We don't have to rush Landon Jackson into heavy responsibility, heavy snaps. We can rotate him in, get his feet wet, continue to get better, improve his technique, get those secondary and tertiary moves going, because he does have a frame that you cannot teach. That size, that length is you can't teach that. So you hope to be able to harness that, hope to be able to polish him up and make him a better football player overall. There are some really high highs with Landon Jackson, but this year, the valleys were plentiful this year with him. And again, he went to Mobile and really, I thought he did some things perhaps in 11 on 11, but outside of that, and 11 on 11 is significant. Don't get me wrong. But too many times you think, okay, you should be better than this guy across from you. And as you mentioned, Drew, didn't really have a plan of attack. You know what I'm saying? If he wasn't able to beat you to the outside, I didn't see any inside move. I didn't see the bull rush, converting speed to power. It's just, what was the plan? And then Headley mentioned, all right, so maybe you're just kind of hold up at the point of attack at the edge. Maybe that's not your forte. So let's reduce you down, rush you from the interior as a 3 technique, see if you can take advantage with your that length, quickness of the guards, and you just don't see that either. So he's got some work to do. But there's some flashes. There were some flashes along the way that gets, I think, scouts excited about him. And I think just landing in Philadelphia, low pressure situation, is good for Landon Jackson. All right. Last pick for Kansas City. We stayed out west here. Connerly, Muhammad, Jonah. We're kicking him inside to guard. Let's go back to the D-line. Alfred Collins. It might be Alfred Collins time.
Collins? Hey, yeah. It's my pick, bro. What are you doing?
Oh, that was Headley's pick? Oh, my bad. Stepping on your shot. Go ahead. My bad.
Come on, bro.
I got excited.
I see, bro. I'm thinking got Jordan Phillips, Ty Robinson, Josh Farmer, and Jordan Burch. Those are kind of the 4. Is that 4? That I'm thinking about. Got Aeneas Peebles, who's nice 3 technique. I'm gonna give my guy some love, man. Jordan Burch. Let's lock him up.
Back to Oregon. 3 Ducks.
Yeah. All right, man. Just stay with it, bro.
Stay with it. All right. I'm gonna stick with Alfred Collins. I'm gonna go to the interior defensive line in Minnesota.
Here we go.
You're up, Hadley.
Where I'm at. It's Miami Dolphins. Okay.
What's the knock on Savion, Drew? Is there a knock on Savion?
No true knock. I think he got hurt. I think he came out the gate strong, and then I think he got hurt, so it was kind of out of sight, out of mind. And then when I think he came back, I still think he was quite the same player, although their season was in the crapper, I think, at that point too. So, but I liked him in Mobile though. I liked him in Mobile. He's got good burst, good hand usage. I need to check his weight. I want to check his weight to see how strong he is, how big he is. But I like him.
All right, Miami Dolphins, man. I love that you guys went in the trenches for the Dolphins with the first 2 picks. Got Walter Nolan from Ole Miss, and then Wyatt Milliam. I'm assuming you're moving inside, Drew. You're moving Milliam inside to play some guard.
Yeah, we try him at both, see what happens. But guard. I think guard's probably where he's gonna make his home.
So we still need a tackle there, man. But I don't know if I want to get 2 offensive. But we can double down. Let me see the offensive tackle really quick. Got Ernest Green, Cornelius, I can't even see that. The Boston College guy, Trapillo. Man, they also could use a corner as well. Let's go to the corner position. All right, I'm gonna go get a guy that I like this tape out there. He's got length on the outside. I need his hip fluidity to get a little better, but he'll come up and tackle. He could click and close. He can play the bell technique. He can play the ball in the air. I'm gonna go with Zai Alexander from LSU.
Jason Marshall.
Marshall. Nah, that's not who I'm talking about. I'm gonna go get Zai Alexander, man. He got some length. He got some size out there on the boundary. I think he can help the Dolphins in their secondary.
I like it. The way you were describing him, I was like, oh, that could be Alexander or Dorian Strong. So yeah, I think the Alexander pick makes sense.
Yeah, I think Dorian is a better man corner. And I think Alexander is better in zone.
3 more selections in this 3-round mock draft.
For the 49ers, we got Jalen Walker, got Ursary and Porter. So we went 2D, 1-0. We're gonna go back. Actually, hold on, let me check these receivers. Nick Nash. Now we want to see another guy in there I like too. All right. We're gonna go to the D line and we're gonna grab Joshua Farmer. State had a good Senior Bowl. Ellie be hating on his own people, but it is what it is.
Hey, bro, that in-season tape wasn't good, bro. He looked like the player that we kind of expected at the Senior Bowl, but that in-season tape wasn't good, bro.
Wasn't good, bro. But that coaching wasn't good. The team wasn't good. It was trash over there, bro. Hot garbage.
Fair enough. Yeah, man, I couldn't even hate watch no more, bro. Like it was so bad, bro. Couldn't even hate watch.
It's bad, bro. That's when you know it's bad, bro. You can't hate watch. It's bad for them boys, ain't it?
All right, Abuka and Lunt in the first 2 selections, 100th overall pick. So let's see. I might just do it, bro, just for the hell of it. Running back.
Was D-line nice? Was D-line nice? Need your receiver, bro?
I'm thinking about it. Even though we went to Mecca, I'm thinking about going back to receiver.
Going to Mecca? No, you ain't got to do that, bro.
I'm not opposed to it though. That's what I'm saying. I'm not opposed to it. I might do some Legos on the back end, man.
Okay.
I might do some Legos.
Let's play
Yeah. You know what? Give me Makuba.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's where I would have gone.
He's still they got the Carnell Lake types back there. You know what I'm saying? Got my boy back there. You know what I'm saying? The U. Put him in Makuba back there on the back end. Got that young defense. Young defense. Led by the guys up front. You know what I'm saying? You got State up there. Kobe Turner and company. You know what I mean? Cam Kitchens and Makuba on the back end, bro.
All right. Detroit Lions. Cal Williams, Shamar Turner. So we went on defensive line heavy for these guys. They need it, but they get Aiden Hutchinson back next season. That playoff game, man, it was just too much turnovers from Goff. That was unlike Goff also. Even though he had I think he had a 5 interception game earlier in the year. It's just, he doesn't really turn the football over. And I guess when he does, he just does it in bunches. We got Michael Shamar defensive line. They can use another safety because, Branch is more of a nickel. Have somebody next to Kirby. Got your boy Anzalone.
Anzalone Campbell at the second level.
Yeah. Solid offensive line, one of the best in football. The offense is good. They might use another receiver if they really want to go there, but I think they're good with Patrick and Laporta. And then, Gibbs, what he does out of the backfield as well. They brought in Malik Robinson. He got hurt. Terry and Arnold. What's the safeties? Like?
Everybody got hurt on the defense, bro. Everybody got hurt.
Kevin Winston is the top safety from Penn State. He got hurt.
Yeah.
So, I was high on him. Like
Billy Bowman.
Out there.
Yeah, let me go get your safety, Drew. Let me go get your safety from Penn State. He got hurt, but you got Joseph in the back end. He plays the pass really well. I like your boy Winston's ability to come up, help in the run support. So let me get Winston to pair with Kirby Joseph.
All right. Drew, you want to go through the picks? We can go through the picks by team. Get the audience's thoughts on who had the best class.
Oh shoot!
It's definitely not the Chargers, bro. Definitely not the Chargers.
Let me see the Chargers class. Can we go to the Chargers class? I want to check them out, man. We couldn't have did that bad.
Those are three good football players. Now you might decide that there are other areas of the roster you wanted to prioritize and what would have given you more flexibility, but in my mind, those are three good football players.
Oh yeah, I think Darius Alexander is a steal at 55, man. They talking end of the first round type of grade for him right now after the Senior Bowl. And just the size and how he moves with that size. I don't think he lasts 55 once the draft comes up. Luther Burden, man, you just wanted to get some speed. You want to get some speed in that wide receiver room and not rely on Ladd too much. So I get that pick also. And I think Kobe Bryant's a good football player as well. A little undersized there. Maybe that's the worst pick. That's my pick, but that might be the worst pick in your class. But listen, I like it, man.
Listen,
way to be accountable, bro.
You remember, and people will chalk it up as it's me hating on FSU. Ashanti came in, bro. He did not run well. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't test well, and at times he looked good. At times he looked okay. You know what I'm saying? And then he turns out to be a good football player. You know what I'm saying? I know. So I'm okay with Kobe Bryant in the third. I'm okay with that. Someone mentioned Dallas, Genty, Tyleek, Betch. Mm-hmm. We all had a pick there. These guys, I think, immediately contribute. All three of them.
Immediately starters. Immediately.
Yeah. Bro. Yeah. You're right. Except for Kobe, the hard ways of the line of scrimmage need to address interior line free agency will reveal a lot. Hey man, you need to go ahead and siphon that boy Jones, or not Jones. Excuse me, Trey Smith. Trey Smith from Kansas City. Go ahead and I think
it's gonna be a bidding war, bro.
Oh, it should be. It should be. Get him up out of there. Get him up out of there. Absolutely.
Let's check the Packers zone, man. St. Dragon said it was underwhelming.
Underwhelming. Okay.
Oh, that's strong, bro.
I don't dislike it.
I love that class.
Yeah,
I love
man.
that class.
I'm
That's
not
what
mad
makes
at
him.
it. I'm not mad at it.
I love that class. Maybe he's mad at the Trey Harris pick, but
yeah,
with Christian Watson injuries, they need somebody on the outside that can stretch the field. And
hey, man.
Well, you had Trey Harris and you had somebody else on the board. I think they wanted the other, whoever the other receiver was. I can't think of who it was.
Ibuka?
Or was it you were supposed to get the corner and then come back?
The corner first.
That's the thought process.
They wanted was it Benmo? Was it Benmo out there?
Yeah, I think it might have been Benmo. And then come back and get, I forget who the receiver would have been at that point, but come back in the second round.
Yeah, I think the mindset is that Trey Harris can be had, in the second round. I think that's part of the mindset, right? Benmo won't be there, but a Trey Harris might be there. And
not if we draft him.
That's what I'm saying. I don't necessarily agree with that.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily agree with that. But I certainly I get the other perspective here, right? And you can make the argument. And like I said before, when we were making the selection, Green Bay is going to draft a corner before they take the receiver, bro. That's just their MO. That's just their MO. So I certainly understand that. Check out the Raiders, bro. Did Jaden Blue declare? Because that's my guy. That's a stamp. Jaden Blue is my guy.
I'm not sure.
He's in the class.
Oh, that's a sneaky one right there. It's a sneaky one. Day 3. Sneaky. Yeah, I love Jaden Blue. Him and Brashard Smith, those are my guys.
Yeah, you called him early.
Yeah.
Jaden Blue.
Ted McMillan, Omarion Hampton, Milroe, JT. Yeah, that's a listen. We won't know on Milroe for a while, but if they get it right with him,
gonna be a problem.
Because the first two are gonna make an impact immediately, right?
Yep.
And I think this is a good landing spot for JT. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't have a ton of pressure to yes, be part of the rotation, be solid. You know what I'm saying? And see if you can get to another level with respect to him. If not, that's okay. Let's be a solid contributor. But the first two, I think, those are arguably the best players at their respective positions. Again, we feel Genty is clearly the top back, but I'm a big Omarion Hampton fan as well. A lot of people making the case for him being selected in the first round. Ted McMillan, I think it's kind of self-explanatory at this point. Milroe is the wild card, bro. But again, if I'm gonna roll the dice, 68 third round makes a lot of sense.
Upside, man.
Upside. Yeah. Who else we got there? Anybody else that kind of jumps out to you based on what we were doing? Take a look at Chicago's draft. Let's see Chicago. I don't think I would have went receiver with Carolina. They need another receiver, but I'm not sure I would have. I think I would have prioritized the defense on day 2.
Oh yeah,
Membo Jackson, Manowari, TJ Sanders.
Man, that's a home run. That's a home run class, bro.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
Shore up some things.
Trenches, and then you got MOR on the back end. That's a home run. A+.
Dylan mentioned the Pats. The Pats had a class.
Bro.
I like the Bears better, but
I like the Bears more. More. This one is contingent upon Emory Jones and Josiah Stewart. I think we feel really confident about the first 2 picks, which effectively might be 2 first-round guys. So that's a great start. Emory Jones was in the first-round conversation a few months ago. You know what I'm saying? So you get him in the 3rd round, good value. Stewart as well. So yeah, it's a matter of whether or not. You know what? It's not even about Emory Jones. It's about whether or not Stewart can contribute sooner rather than later, at least from my perspective, because they need more teeth in terms of the pass rush. I think Pat State Graham, maybe. I can't pass up Hunter, though, man. I can't pass him up, man.
What he could do as a wide receiver.
Not for that team. Not for this team. Not for this team. I wouldn't pass that up. I think when you're talking about Vrabel and what he might want to do inside out, I think you can make a case for that just because of the mentality, the philosophy. But just in terms of this team has been, it's like watching paint dry, watching New England at times, bro. They need some more. They need to be able to score points. And I think even if you play Travis at corner, he's going to have a role for you, especially in the end zone. And what kind of attention he draws when he's on the field offensively. I think it's too good to pass up. my opinion. Shador, Deion Walker, Noah Williams getting the love. I appreciate that. It's another one of my guys. Yeah, man, Deion Walker, bro. I'm telling you, man, if that back checks out in terms of health and he continues to work on his pad level, bro, Deion Walker is going to be a problem, bro. There's some ifs. But I'm rolling the dice. This one is weird. This draft class is weird, but I like it. Right? You see a safety. Yeah, you see a safety being picked in the top 10. People are going to balk at that. A lot of people will. Not everyone, but a lot of people will balk at that. Fannin, they need more weapons offensively, no doubt. And then I think you got great value, Headley, with McCord at 92. You know what I'm saying?
D+ for that one.
Good old D+.
Mm-hmm. Again, I don't even see the D+ on there, bro. I don't even see it. It doesn't even exist.
Sure.
All right, man. Good stuff. We're gonna run it back. We're gonna run it back next week, right? After the Super Bowl, we're gonna run it back next week. We'll do it a little bit better. I want to get you guys involved. We'll jump on the multi-user mock draft on PFN's platform. So same time next week. We'll run through a few draft class, get everybody's input, let them actually make the picks as well. Obviously, the computer will be spliced in there as well because it's going to be up to 16 users. But I think there are enough people in the live where we can have a pretty full mock draft. So definitely 9:30 p.m. Eastern, Thursday night next week. Anything else you want to add, guys? Anything else before we sign off? Good.
Just hit the like button on your way out.
Yes.
Share the video.
Multi-user. We're going to do multiple mock drafts. So we'll give, if folks are late coming in or having any technical difficulties, they'll be able to eventually get in on a mock draft with us. So we'll do several of those next week. All right. Want to thank everyone again for tuning in. We obviously love the interaction. It really motivates us. So we appreciate that. For Headley, Drew, this is Juice. We'll see you next week.